Yay! There you go.
I like that.
There you go. Nice, simple, basic introduction theme, which I think is always good for this show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Broken Film Show. And this is a new show for our lovely little network here. And in our first show, we will be discussing the Harry Potter franchise. And before we get to that, I have to do two little bits of housekeeping. That's all. Kira hasn't sat through this before, so bear this in mind. Number one, check out our Patreon.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's like really tiny, I'm not going to lie.
Well, hopefully it gets bigger if people actually join the tiers and start pledging. So they'll keep the things running. There's perks and there's ups to everything you go. So guys, just check out the links in the description if you're on the YouTube channel, or you go to the Facebook page. Okay? Mm-hmm. So there we go. And number two, which is always the thing, our sponsor is, once again, Join the Light Photography, which my photography company, so we're supporting people. Events, weddings, check us out, people. Simple as that. So we have nice quick plugs for everyone because I don't drawing them out. But what we'll do is get to the people that are joining me for this discussion. And number one is Stephanie.
Yay! Hello. Yes, my business account. Hello. Give us a like and a follow. And yeah.
Yeah, I also take your screenshots. This is your newer stuff.
Yeah, I'm posting 3 times a week at the moment. So yeah, check us out. It's fun. And you get to see my successes and my failures.
Yeah, check it out, people. It's good to see. And also joining us is Kira.
Oh, there's the beautiful girl.
There you go. Check out her Instagram. Very interesting stuff. And be kind,
I like
people.
the way you
be
say
kind.
that. It's interesting.
And no message about you know what.
I actually haven't had any since you removed the OnlyFans thing.
Yeah, hence the reason for removing it, because, you know. So, anyhow, I'll just do this very quickly because I don't need to. We have a Twitter. Here it is. Check it out. Yeah. There is also an Instagram. Check it out right there. Okay. Obviously, there's also the Facebook page. Again, all links are in the descriptions below. So we are going to discuss the Harry Potter franchise. But before we get there, I have my special co-host here who has a very distinct character he wants to talk about. Okay. Grogu wants to discuss Dobby. And Grogu has not been told that Dobby died. So
mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Dobby died, yeah?
Oh, poor Grogu. Oh, so it's going to be one of those shows. Okay, right.
When I'm here.
But should probably start off with everyone's first exposure to the franchise. That is Harry Potter. What was your first experience of Harry Potter, guys?
Mine was the books.
Okay.
I grew up.
I don't remember how I.
So both books, yeah?
Yeah, I started off with the books.
Ah, so this is where we differ. Mine was actually the first 2 films.
Oh.
Then it was the books. So, yeah, unique experience on that one.
I just remembered something funny when you know when Half-Blood Prince first showed in cinemas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you took me and my cousin to go see it, and I shat myself.
I even remember what bit it was as well. It's the bit where he's in the cave where Dumbledore's fighting off the Inferi.
I was what? Like, I was in primary school still, I think.
Yeah, you weren't very old. I mean, Scott's only a year older than you, and you both did it. You was both literally hiding underneath my arms. I'm like, it's fine.
I'm a year older than him.
No, he's older than you. He's a year older than you.
No, not.
Yeah, he's older than you.
How old is he?
Mentally, he's older than you.
Yeah, mentally. Thank you.
No, physically, you're actually a year older.
Yeah, I was going to say there's like a year's difference.
Yeah, so they're really close together in age, but they both had the same reaction to it, which was hilarious.
I don't remember like which movie I saw first. I remember seeing like the first memory that I can think of the movies is I remember being at my grandma's house watching a behind the scenes special that Sky did on the first part of Deathly Hallows with the bridge where it goes all whooshy. I remember watching that, but I didn't know it was Harry Potter. So I just thought London was like dying. That's like the first memory I have. And then it like cuts into them talking to the cast, and that's all I remember.
I thought the bridge going wishy was Half-Blood, or am I mistaken?
I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, okay, now you've got me.
Because it's the Millennium Bridge, right?
Oh,
I'm
actually,
pretty sure it's Half-Blood. Because it's something that's not in the books.
Mm.
I think
Oh
it's
shit! Yeah.
Half-Blood.
Okay, well, then there you go. Then it was a behind the scenes of Half-Blood. Well,
Yeah.
I for some reason I just think it's Deathly Hallows.
I can.
No,
to be fair,
the first part of Deathly Hallows starts where they're at the wedding, isn't it?
I thought it was Scrimgeour.
Oh no, where they're transferring him from them to the thing, and Moody dies, and
yeah, which is funny because the first part of obviously Deathly Hallows is like actually the 4th chapter in the book.
Yeah,
which I do find kind of funny. So it's a recurring theme in later films where they literally start about 4 or 5 chapters into where the book would be.
Yeah, I think they had to like, cut it down, especially with Deathly Hallows, because it was a chunky book.
Yeah.
Sorry, but here's the thing though with Deathly Hallows, you don't get that excuse. It was 2 parts. And they still screwed it up, but we will get to Deathly Hallows.
Should we start in chronological order?
I think we will do, yes. So it'll be Philosopher or Sorcerer's Stone, depending if you're American or British. We'll get onto that one. We will get onto why that is in a minute. So.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a lot of American friends, and when I say Philosopher's Stone, they give me this blank look. Because it's like, what's that? And then you say, oh right, yeah. Then you remember it was for them. It's just Philosopher's Stone. It's like, But here's the thing: the Philosopher's Stone was a real historical object. There was never anything called the Sorcerer's Stone. So they're literally that means nothing.
So out of the movies, I think I know the first 2 word for word off by heart, because obviously parents have a thing where they moderate what kids watch, and my mum was one of these that was like the first 2 were suitable for child watching, whereas the others weren't. So I know the first 2 off by heart.
That makes sense because film-wise, Azkaban's where it starts to get darker.
Yeah. See, Marie has all like a friend of mine has them all. So
yeah.
I mean, yeah. I have all the books and all the films, which is one of the reasons why I can do a fair comparison. So I can match them.
If we're watching them, those 2 are the ones that I've seen the most. I've watched all the others, obviously, and I know all the others. It's just the first 2 I know word for word. Okay. Especially Chamber of Secrets because of Dobby.
I would say, would we agree that the first 2 are the closest to the books?
I would say they are the most true. But at the same time, I still prefer the books because I can't remember what exactly they miss out of the books, but there are a few things, especially in the first one.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, because some things in Deathly Hallows don't make sense without some of the stuff from Philosopher's Stone that's in the books but not in the movie. So half of it in the film don't make sense.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things missing.
If you watch them as like a standalone, like if you've only ever watched the films, they make sense, and if you've only ever watched the books make sense. But if you've done both, you can point it all out.
Okay, I'll jump ahead just a little bit here and explain an instance where it doesn't make sense, even if you just watched only the films. Okay, if you watch just purely using the films, there is no way Snape knows they're in the forest to give Harry the sword.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, which is, we will get to that when we talk about Deathly Hallows, but that's an example of something which was effective because they didn't do stuff in earlier books.
Yeah.
or and from the books in earlier films, I should say. So, but as far as I was going to say, as far as the films go, the first one you had the absence of the dragon egg, Norbert.
Yeah.
You missed a whole section of that story because you should have seen Charlie Weasley in that as well.
Oh,
yeah,
how he got Norbert, right. I was going to say, he was in it, just not for long.
Yeah, but you should have seen the whole exchange and everything with Charlie, but you didn't, which kind of, so that way...
You don't really find out that... You don't really see Charlie and... What is it, Bill? Is it Bill and Charlie, the two oldest? You don't really see... hear
Bill
about them
Charlie.
until, like, the end.
I was going to say, Bill, in the films, you don't actually meet Bill until Deathly Hallows.
Yeah, but Bill is mentioned. I believe it's Bill because he's the one who deals with the dragons in Romania.
No, that's Charlie.
Oh no, that is Charlie.
Bill's
the curse breaker.
Oh,
Greyback. Yes.
Yeah, but no. So obviously there is mention of Charlie when the dragons come in the Goblet of Fire for the Triwizard Tournament.
I think the first time you see anyone play them, though, is actually in Azkaban because they go to that trip to Egypt and they hold up the photo.
Yeah.
And they're in it.
Yeah.
But you don't actually really meet them, even though in the book version of Azkaban, all the Weasleys are in the Leaky Cauldron.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I think the biggest thing really missing from Philosopher's Stone is, well, actually, there's two things. There's the Norbert bit, but they miss out Snape's trap for the Philosopher's Stone. The potions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're the two main things, unless I'm forgetting something.
See, I haven't read them for a while, so I'm not 100% sure.
I'm trying to mentally go through the books.
Yeah.
Well, it's the nettle wine thing, then you've got one that makes them go back, and then one that should go through, and two are poison.
Yeah.
So, the big thing they miss out, and I think it kind of carries on all the way through the books, is them... it's a really minor detail, so it could just be me that picked it up, but like Dudley's weight gain and weight loss thing.
Who, sorry?
That they like Dudley.
Oh yes, Dudley.
They pick on him quite a bit through that, and then I think it's for is it Goblet of Fire where they do the tournament at the beginning, the cup.
Yeah.
Championship. Yeah, they go and pick him up, and then the boys make fun of him and drop the sweets and start, stuff. So a lot of the twins content is missed out as well.
Yeah, that whole bit where they pick him up from the Dursleys is not in Goblet of Fire.
It just kind of is already there.
The start of that film is literally him having the dream with Wormtongue and Barty Crouch, and then he wakes up and he's already at the Weasleys.
Yeah, because they go watch the Quidditch World Cup.
That's it, yeah. Now, do you think it would have been good to have seen any of the actual World Cup final Quidditch take place? Because obviously they skip it. Because there is content in the chapters describing what happens.
That whole bit with the mascots wasn't there in the books.
Also Leprechaun Gold and Ludo Bagman.
Yeah.
I feel like
he kind of the money.
Because obviously you've got Victor Crumb in the Triwizard Tournament as well. I think it would have been good to see a bit more of Crumb pre-Triwizard Tournament, because we don't really see much of him and we don't really know much about him in the film, whereas there is context in the book.
I think it also
you know that he's a Quidditch star, whereas in the films you just kind of told he is.
No, you see it first.
It also makes it... I think it also helps establish Ron's worship aura of Crumb, because in the World Cup, in the books, he sees him in the World Cup and he's famous. But when he turns up at the school, he's like, "Oh, it's Victor Crumb," and you're kind of like, "Okay, but why should I care?"
Yeah, exactly. It's like when I saw that, I turned around and I was like, "Who?" Because I hadn't finished reading that, like all the books at that point when I watched it, and I was just sat there like, "Who are you?"
Just out of curiosity, are we including the cursed child in this? Or are we completely skipping that?
That depends on whether we're going to class it as canon or not. We can talk about it if you like, but there are people who debate whether it should be included or not. I mean, technically, Rowling wrote it, so we probably should include it.
I think we should touch upon it, but obviously it's like a screenplay instead.
I think possibly we
Still
should.
technically one of the Harry Potter books now. When you buy the collection, it does actually include the Cursed Child now. Well, at least in some.
Okay,
but if you read all of the originals and then go into the Cursed Child, it makes no sense. Like the Cursed Child, literally, you have to really try and work it out how they got there.
Well, here's the thing, though. Technically, you should start in Harry Potter series. Is the short story she wrote for one of the charities, which got auditioned, which was about Harry and Sirius escaping Death Eaters, because it takes place before everything else.
Does it?
I've actually got that story.
I only know the three companion, like the actual Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them book, like the actual guide. I have it in the box somewhere.
Yeah, we will actually touch upon those films as well.
The Beedle story. So.
The Tales of Beedle the Bard. Something else we will touch upon too, because it does tie into to at least one. Actually, technically, two of the films. I've got it too.
I don't. I just have 1 to 7 of the books, and that's it.
Well, the thing is, though, the Tales of Beedle the Bard could actually be read as a normal nursery rhymes to people, like children's tales and stuff, because it legitimately works as fairy tales.
Yeah, that's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, I think she did a good job with that. In all fairness, and also anyone who has that book, literally, the first thing they do is go straight to the Three Brothers story.
I mean, I'll admit, when I got the book, I did do that, but I have read all the others now, and they're quite good.
Yeah, I actually tried looking for the other ones because some of them get name dropped. Some of the other stories, so I went to them first because I was curious as to what they meant when they brought us like Haggerty Baggerty and the Stump Leg, or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, Babbling Pot, yeah.
I was more curious about what the hell that was, because it's a case of, well, I know your Three Brothers thing because it's in the book.
But it's the way, like, in the books they compare it to, like, Cinderella and stuff, and Ron has no idea, but when he says his version, it's kind of like how we would see it. It's like, what? So reading them, it was quite good to see what their version of a fairy tale is.
See, here's the thing. This is one of the things I actually really liked, because he grew up in a strict wizard family, right? So why would he know Muggle fairy tales? That would make no sense. So the fact he doesn't know them is actually not surprising.
Yeah.
And you would think Hermione would have known some of the wizarding ones, at least. We're not surprised Harry doesn't know, because Harry in the first book knows nothing.
Yeah. He just kind of gets dropped in.
He's like, oh, I'm Harry Potter. I've got this scar here because somebody tried to kill me and they killed my parents. That's pretty much what Harry knows. And not even all of that either.
Disney movie ever.
Hagrid just burst in. You're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Harry, my boy, you're a wizard.
Oh, dear.
Or there's the spoof version. You're a lizard, Harry.
I was thinking it.
There's so many spoofs on that, so it's all good fun though. But there's quite a bit cut out of, obviously, when he picks him up as well. When he first meets Harry and picks him up, because they truncate it in the film, which I understand why you do it film-wise, because it would affect the flow of the film. But there's some important details which get kind of miniaturized or pushed out of the way because that bit's not in the film.
Yeah.
So, especially Hagrid.
I wish they'd left in. It's like Petunia's relationship with Dumbledore, like how he wrote to her a lot to say to keep Harry. You miss a lot of that context, especially in like the last bit of Deathly Hallows, where they have that moment where she's like, I lost my sister, and you kind of see a little bit of her. Well, I read it as like a vulnerability in the Deathly Hallows, where you see none of that in the films.
Well, there's an example, right? Because there's a deleted scene that has that in it, which isn't included in the film, and it probably should be, along with the bit with Dursley's tells Harry, "I don't think you're a waste of space," because there were outtakes of those scenes. They probably should actually be in the film.
They did do them, but they were never there. They just kind of cut them.
I want to know why. Like, I'm not shitting on Warner Brothers, but if you're gonna do the Harry Potter series, you should at least do if they're a bit lengthy, then that shouldn't be an issue because it explains it all a lot better. And scenes that are quite vital.
They have time restrictions. But...
Yeah, like scenes that are quite vital for storyline, like we've just said about In Deathly Hallows.
Especially those.
They should be there.
Well, length clearly doesn't bother Warner Brothers because they just released a 4-hour plus Justice League cut. So I'm pretty sure length does not really bother Warner Brothers.
No,
wait, it is actually 4 hours. Sorry,
4 hours.
It is actually 4 hours.
4 hours and 2 minutes. Yeah, I've actually watched it.
It was 4 hours.
What?
The Justice League cut that we streamed. It was the actual one.
The Snyder cut one. It's 4 hours.
The Snyder's version.
Like the first one.
Wasn't the first one.
Exactly the first one.
It wasn't.
Because it's Batman.
Because he said it's 4 hours long.
It was Batman going to speak to Aquaman. Exactly at the beginning of the first
maybe
one.
that was a flashback. Oh god. We tried to stream it yesterday and he was like, it can't be it. 1, it's 4 hours long, and 2, it looks exactly the same as the first one.
No, there's big differences, but this isn't.
I've never seen it. I thought I'd stream it for him so he could watch it. But anyway,
because it's Warner Brothers, it was relevant because obviously they've made a 4-hour movie that includes a lot of detail was not done in the original version of that film.
Yeah.
So why couldn't they make all the Harry Potter films a bit longer?
I mean, to be fair, in a cinema release, I can understand why you wouldn't necessarily want to make something 4 hours straight.
You wouldn't, yeah.
Possibly like having an intermission, because what you find particularly, obviously you guys probably never seen this. If you watch a Bollywood film in a cinema, there is a inbuilt intermission because they're like 3-4 hours long. There's a break in there specifically so you can go to the toilet or do whatever you need to do because of the running time.
Yeah.
So
I know that,
old-fashioned films used to have that too. Lawrence of Arabia was a long film. They used to have an intermission in it when it was shown at cinemas for this reason.
Yeah.
So, and obviously cinemas do marathon-long showings of like trilogies and stuff. So it's not that they can't do it.
Kind of just stopped caring.
Yeah.
I
think a lot of the film studios have stopped caring, but that's actually a separate show.
Especially after the whole Fantastic Beasts incident, but we won't get into that.
Oh no! Here, this is one place where we, other than the burst, this is the one place where we can get into that because it's relevant.
Oh, we can. The fact that they cut Johnny Depp because of his abusive ex-wife.
Yeah, because it's relevant to what we're talking about. Because it affects the storytelling. So yes, it's relevant.
Yeah.
So on the other shows, I wasn't going to necessarily touch upon these things because they're not relevant. But this particular show, that is very relevant to what we're talking about because it's part of the Harry Potter franchise.
Yes.
So
it's supposed to be 7 movies long as well. The whole Fantastic Beasts collection. Apparently, they're supposed to be making 7 movies.
Well, that depends on how much money they can make, I guess. But like with most things from film studios. But obviously, not the first example of a character being changed or cut, though, in the Harry Potter franchise.
No, it's not because. But they didn't do that on purpose. He sadly passed away.
Yeah, I'm not referring to
the same character.
I'm not referring to Richard because that is understandable because you can't dig up a dead person and get them to say, "Hey, Richard Harris, just sit here for 6 more movies."
I'm just saying, this was before they could just put his face in and cut him in like they did with Paul Walker.
I personally think they were better off recasting than even trying to do the computer thing because I think it just works better. Yeah. So, I mean, for the most part, we were going to talk about Malcolm Gambon anyway, because apart from one particular film incident, I think it's a fairly good Dumbledore. And the incident I'm referring to goes to something like this. Do you put your name in the goblet of fire?
Yes! Dumbledore states
I was hoping it would come up somewhere. Yeah.
It was It's the fact that in the book
It was the sudden.
Right, because in the
And in
books,
the
it's
movie,
more,
he just gets all raw.
yeah, he's too aggressive in the movie. In the books, it's much more a questioning, caring, rather than an accusatory, which is what the film is. So it completely changes the dynamic of the conversation.
Yeah,
But the thing is, if you watch him do it and then go and read the book, you can't help but read it as Harry, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?
Dumbledore us.
You just can't help it.
Here's the other thing, though. Can you imagine if Richard Harris had done that?
No.
Exactly. It wouldn't sound right. I mean, I've heard Richard Harris, when he was in some of his other films, do angry, loud scenes, but it wouldn't have sounded the same.
No.
Plus, the way he played Dumbledore, he was much more softly. So I think he would have done more like the book would have been. Yeah. I think Richard Gambon was also. It's also a case of he'd only done Azkaban, so he was still sort of getting used to it. So I think maybe it's just bad direction. I think, honestly, rather than him.
Yeah.
The directors did change.
I wasn't on the set. I don't know, but my assumption is it's a direction choice because the guy who did Azkaban was Alfonso Cuarón, who's known for dark gothic-y stuff, and then you went to, I think it was David Yates for Goblet, and that's two very different styles of directing.
I think the directing for Azkaban was perfect to fit like certain scenes.
Yeah, but there's another film that's got a bunch of stuff missing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got obviously you got Philosopher, then you got Chamber. Azkaban is when they started really cutting big things from the films.
Yes.
Really, I think. The other two films, yes, had stuff cut, but it wasn't so major. So, I mean, one particular thing that really affects the films in the long run is the absence of house elves.
Yes.
Something they were also warned about by J.K. Rowling.
They missed out Hermione's whole petition to save them, and her strike against them, and going down into the kitchens and meeting them.
Yeah, because obviously the house elves are in the kitchens in Hogwarts, and it's just like, because you never see that in the film. You only
also you get no Blinky. You don't see how Hermione cares about things. There's a whole bunch of issues out of it.
I think Blinky should have been there because she was a big part in the whole Barty Crouch Jr. thing.
Right.
Because they missed the whole how he escaped from Azkaban. They just kind of assume he's there.
Yeah, because you also miss out the fact about his mum. As in Barty Crouch's mum, to be clear.
Yeah.
Because Kira just touched on it, how he escaped the prison. Because that's how his mum replaced him. She took a potion to change how she looked.
She couldn't bear to see
because she was dying.
Yeah.
And her final wish was to free him.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
like, they had the house elf to monitor him.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, the only two house elves, I believe, are Creature. Is it Creature?
Creature's the House of Black.
Creature and Dobby.
Yeah, those are the only two. Dobby has a big part, which is understandable.
There are others that you see, but they're never named.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're only briefly seen.
Of prominence, it's Creature, who is the house elf for the Black family, and of course, Dobby. Yes. Creature is actually Creature is a lot more relevant than he is in the films because Creature is actually very important.
But they don't touch on that either.
But this is one of the things that Rowling warned about.
They do it very briefly, the whole, it was his locket and then he sold it and, stole it and etc. But they never go into depth that Creature went with him and did all of that for him and for Voldemort. And
well, how Creature got the locket, essentially.
Yeah.
They never explain it.
No, they just say it was left by Regulus and that was it. And then Mundungus stole it.
Anything about what Regulus did or why Regulus doesn't have it?
He was never seen as the hero. He was just the Death Eater, and they they never changed that in the films.
Yeah,
which affects Creature's motives going forward in that film because you don't know anything about Regulus.
Mm.
Because then you wonder, well, why did Creature decide to help them? Because that makes no sense. Judging from his previous introduction and the fifth one, where all he's saying is mad blood, mad blood, mad blood.
Yeah, he's just a bit of a
So a lot of these things do affect characters. Speaking of the Black family household, of course, Phineas Nigellus. Stephanie's giggling, but this is a big problem.
Yeah, I know. Like he's seen
but not in the same way.
Because
I was going to say he's in oh god, Order of the Phoenix, where they go into the office afterwards, and Dumbledore's briefly like, Phineas, go check. That's it. That's his only screening.
Right, which is kind of
he's actually a bit of a bigger character in the books.
Yeah, very much so. Also, he helps fill a plot point, which, because his absence doesn't get explained in Deathly Hallows, we touched on it before, because he is the reason that Snape knows to go to the forest to give them the sword.
Yeah.
Which, so how did Snape find them otherwise? Did he read the script? What?
Yes.
I can just imagine Snape sitting there reading the script going, oh, bloody Potter again. Got to see that little boy looks too much like his father. And off he goes.
Yeah.
10 points from Gryffindor.
I don't know if this is true or not, but you can fact check me later. But if you Google it, I know, it's a great sentence starter, but apparently Lily was actually pregnant again when she was killed. Apparently it was supposed to be a next part of the plot, but J.K. Rowling never expanded on it. And apparently Snape was supposed to be the godfather. Sorry, that just popped into my head.
And now half the internet probably hates you. Because apparently half the internet seems to hate Snape for some reason.
See, I feel like
it just shows that he did his job well. He kind of really did portray the character perfectly.
Yeah, but the thing is, Snape is a fictional character, not real.
I mean,
yeah, but the reason he's hated is because of the way you see him. So, props to Alan Rickman, because he made the character hateable.
The problem is, particularly in my case, is a lot of the younger people, that would have been their first experience of Alan Rickman. Wasn't mine. Mine was Die Hard.
Wasn't mine.
And then Robin Hood. But it was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, where he's a bad guy, but he's a comical bad guy the whole way through the film.
Yeah.
Right. So when you then I see him as Snape, I'm like, I know he's supposed to be dark and everything, but no, I just no.
You can't.
No, I can't. I find Snape more funny than anything.
I can see where most people would hate Snape, but it's just it's kind of similar to like with wrestling, like just to make an analogy here, with the heels, they have to do it so they can put that character over. And Snape is meant to be acting like the bad guy, so that way he can protect the fact that he's helping Harry and protecting him. So, again, Alan Rickman did a good job, but it's like there are certain...
But also, I feel like Snape was designed to look like that.
Yeah.
He had the whole brick wall up to look like he was the bad guy, but really he was doing a good job.
Well, yeah. If you read Rowling's description of him in the book, yes, exactly what it was. And yeah, I mean, here's the thing though. We will come upon this with some of these characters, whether the actors that were playing them were the right actors to play them.
I feel like David Tennant did a good job with Barty Crouch Jr. Yeah. For the very little
they came up with that to make it as a distinction between the two of them.
Well, to be fair, at least he didn't pick his nose.
That's what happens when he gets bored while time traveling. He decides to become a Death Eater.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, particularly David Tennant. My first exposure to David Tennant, unlike most other people's, was not Doctor Who.
Yeah.
It's Casanova.
I see, now you say it. Yeah.
Because Casanova is where you got the Doctor Who job. Casanova is a much better acting job done by him. He's very good in it.
Yeah.
So I think he did all right with what he had in the film, but because they cut so much of his backstory from it, I think it limited what he could do.
It's kind of that. Yeah.
So,
they also cut the Ariana Grande. They nearly said Ariana Grande there. The Ariana storyline. His sister.
Ariana Dumbledore, do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, they truncated it, essentially. She is mentioned, she is shown, but nothing's explained about
just
it.
As the painting. She's just the painting. Well, actually, they touch on it a tiny bit. But it's not the same as they do in the books where they read about how, she was attacked and she suddenly changed, and how Dumbledore kind of wanted greatness. So
yeah, I personally wanted more of Aberforth Charming.
Yeah.
It's mentioned in the books. I want to see what kind of
thing for goats.
Yeah, I wanted to see more of that.
It's never explained, but the thing is, it's never explained why or in what way. It just sounds dodgy, no matter how you read it.
Which is the
thing for goats.
But the thing is, it could be completely innocent, but we don't know because nobody explains it.
It's always, it comes across as a bad thing, though. When Dumbledore's talking, he has a thing for goats, and you know how he's always with the goats. I'm like, why?
Maybe he just liked goat cheese.
Even his Patronus is a goat. And
just saying.
I'm assuming, like everyone else, you know what helps form the Patronus.
Happy memory.
Yeah, but it's something you generally have a strong attachment to.
Which explains why snakes.
I always thought it was like, after reading the books, I kind of thought it was because that's the memory he associates with his sister. Like, because sometimes she said she was always calm when she was with him and helping with the goats. So I kind of thought happy memory was like his sister with the goats.
Well, happy memory was what powers the Patronus, but Patronuses can change form, something we discovered in the books.
Yeah.
Because Tonks's does so.
Yeah.
Okay. But a Patronus is powered by happy memories, because that's what keeps the Dementors at bay. But Harry's happy memory would not be a stag, because he's never met a stag, as far as we're aware. But his Patronus is a stag.
It's the same as his father's.
Right. He's never met a stag, but he knows his father's stuff.
And it's like Snape's Patronus is a doe.
Yeah. Spoilers. Guess why that is. Yeah, it's exactly why it is.
But why is hang on, you've just completely mind blown here. If Harry's is the same as James, but he doesn't really remember much about his parents. So why is it
doesn't make sense?
Why is it a stag?
My entire life.
There may be an explanation, but it's not an obvious one. This is the problem.
Are you deliberately off screen, or has my camera just done a thing?
I think your camera's done a thing, because I'm fine and I can see Steph and everything.
I can see you. You're just kind of like. Hang on, I'll refresh my page. Give me a second. I can only see like the side of you. I know I am.
What can you see now?
Okay, there we go. We're back. Hang on. Like, move Yoda just for a second. No, you're still off to the side. Hang on.
Ah, well, wonderful technical. It's just live streaming, people, but yeah. Also, Grogu.
Yes. See, I'm a bit confused as to why Lily is a happy memory for Severus, because obviously he finds Lily's dead body, and Lily never loved him.
I have an explanation for that. I do have an explanation for it.
Missed the beginning of the sentence.
Right. Stephanie asked why basically Severus's happy memory should make him produce Lily's dough, right? And think of and I think there's a very simple explanation for that, because the most happy memories in Sirius's life were when he was younger, when he met Lily.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those
and I think that's what that comes from.
He felt comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's also so many memories of where
he knew that she didn't love him. He knew that, but it didn't change the fact that she was still his happiest memory. And
also,
he still loved her.
Also, just because she didn't love him didn't mean he didn't love her, which you just touched upon.
Yeah.
Also, this should have been a big clue to everybody as to why Snape wasn't really a Death Eater. Death Eaters cannot produce Patronuses.
Mind blown.
Because it's, as a dark wizard, you can't do it because it's a happy memory.
Mm-hmm.
It does make sense. You just have to think about it. So, but we will get onto weird magic that's never really explained anyway, and that would be the dark mark.
Yeah, I want to get that tattoo so bad.
Or as we like to call it, Mordus Morde, which is the incantation used for it. Apparently, it makes no bloody sense.
No, all it is basically it's like the bat signal. In all honesty.
I'm pretty sure it was explained somewhere,
but it doesn't explain how it works. I mean, what does Voldemort do? Just fondle one of his disciples' arms to call everybody? What is it? Skype? Zoom? Google Hangouts? What?
Microsoft Teams.
Right, yeah. Star Trek Transporter.
No, it's basically I don't know, it makes no sense. Like, why didn't you just send up a red flare or something? It would have been a bit easier than having what looks like a tattoo. In all honesty.
But the thing with the tattoo, though, is I'm assuming because every time he touched it, it told them that he wanted them there. So it was an easy way to get them to get there without being obvious about it. I'm guessing is why it exists.
Yeah.
What you don't know how he did it, and you don't know why it works.
It's mentioned somewhere. How, not how exactly, but how he did it.
Yeah. Also, why the mark fades. But doesn't actually go away; it just fades.
I mean, yeah,
because that's how Snape. This is how Snape knew he was back, because Snape's mark became dark again.
Yeah, because they all just it's been getting stronger and all of this, and
yeah.
Wow.
But the thing is, you never physically see how as far as I'm aware, you don't see how it actually appears on the arm.
Hello, I'm Wormtail. Hello. You can call me Stumpy.
Right, I'm going to be back in a second.
Okay.
So, but yeah, there is some magic which is shown in the Harry Potter films, which there's no explanation for.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
but the books, yeah. But this is an issue, because if something's important and it's going to be a plot device, you need to kind of explain it. Even if it's not a full-on explanation, you need to give us an example as to why it's the thing.
I mean, another thing for me is I'm pretty sure Horace Slughorn had a lot more relevance in the books than what he did in the film.
Definitely.
And it's never explained in the film. So it always makes it so he's just another teacher that they brought in to replace Snape. Which was quite funny because he'd been after the dark arts position for years.
Yeah, well, I think Dumbledore just had enough of Snape. He's like, yeah, you can do that job. It's cursed. It's fine.
I mean, it's cursed enough to have Dolores Umbridge in it, so.
But no, it's the thing. This is touched upon in the books, which is never explained in the films. Is the job was cursed once Voldemort was rejected for it.
Yeah.
But it's not explained in the films. That's a book. It's explained in the book that this is one of the reasons why they've never had defenses against dark arts teachers for longer than usually a year.
But the thing is that's the other thing that pisses me off is they didn't explain it in the books, in the films, sorry. So it was just like, oh, what happened? Like, did the teachers just not like the job or something? But we all know why Gilderoy got replaced.
Well, we also know what happened to Quirrell, to be fair.
Yes.
That was shown in the film, to be fair to them.
Yeah, and Remus as well. But other than that, because obviously with Remus, obviously the Hogwarts got mail in about a werewolf teaching, so he left.
But wasn't in the film. We know he leaves, but it's not actually explained in the film as to that's why he left.
Briefly touched on, but not into the depth it was in the book.
It's not properly explained, is what I'd go with. Because essentially he just turns around to Harry and goes, oh, okay, Harry, I'm going back to my home planet now. I'll be back. That's literally what it is.
That is pretty much it.
He's like E.T. Phone a werewolf.
But it's just, it really bothers me that half of the stuff this is why I prefer books to films, and you're going to hear me say this a lot. I've always preferred books to films because the books explain everything a lot better and the storytelling is so much better and you can use your imagination as well. But I do want to quickly touch on one thing that I have, it's not really, it's to do with the franchise, but it's not to do with book and film related, or it is, but it isn't. But with the Cursed Child, with Hermione Granger, we were speaking about this the other day. With who they cast.
Do you mean the fact that she's the Minister of Magic in the Cursed Child? I had no idea that was going to happen.
No, it was they cast.
No, we know exactly what you're going to talk about. Yes, because we did this.
Yeah. I mean, could you word this for me? Because I'm not sure how to word it. But they casted a.
Okay, I'll explain. Basically, there was a lot of controversy because the people who did the play decided to pick an actor who happens to be black, essentially. Yeah. And a lot of people got really hurt by this, thinking, oh, but the book says she's white. She should be white. Well, here's the newsflash for all you people. It does not say in anywhere in the books that she's white. Purple, orange, black, blue, pink. There's a description of her hair and various other features about her. Nothing ever says anything about skin colour. Also, doesn't affect her as a character. Why do you care?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, in the books, not all, there's a couple of character descriptions, is it
Seamus
being Irish, and then you had Dean Thomas Neville. Yeah. You only had descriptions of certain characters, but not a lot about skin color because that's what you imagine. It's like with the Weasleys, they say they're all ginger.
I was going to say, the only one who's really described skin color wise is Voldemort, but that's when he's reborn from the cauldron.
Yeah.
And yeah, good luck finding somebody who actually has that color skin. Because that ain't happening.
It would be a very, very weird thing to see.
Well, it'd be like a translucent albino.
Why can I picture that?
Because that's what it would be. And no albino is translucent like that. It's not a thing.
Yeah. It's just, that's what I hate about the fans. Is that because there's so much controversy as well about.
Hang on, let's be clear. This isn't all fans.
No, it's not all fans.
Who just seem to think that if you don't like it, it's wrong.
I mean, another one for me was all the fans thought that Sirius and Remus would have been together, but then when J.K. Rowling comes out saying that Albus Dumbledore's gay, which actually makes a lot of sense. But people were thinking it would be Remus and Sirius, even though Remus marries Nymphadora.
Well, to be fair, Remus as a character is supposed to be an allegory for AIDS because of the werewolf thing, right? Okay.
Mhm.
And this is something Rowling has explained. I always thought Remus struck me more as being bisexual if he was anything.
Yes.
But again, there's nothing that says that. But it's just certain things are a bit characteristic. Because here's the thing I think is most important to tell the story. Worry about the character. Do not worry about who does what with that character and what they do with other people. Because unless it's directly affected to how that character is as a characteristic, it's not relevant.
No, it's not.
Because if it's a plot point, then yeah, absolutely mention it because then it's relevant.
Yeah.
Like the fact that James and Lily love each other and they're a heterosexual couple. It's relevant because they're Harry's parents.
Yeah.
Does it matter Dumbledore's gay? No.
No, it doesn't.
It has no relevance to the plot of any kind.
No, it doesn't.
Apart from it kind of explains Gellert. As in Grindelwald, to those who are not so familiar with the stories. But again, it's not really touched upon in the books that they're doing anything other than just enjoying being around each other, which normal friends could do, for all we know.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just how the controversy was about all the backlash. Like, yeah, okay, I get it, there's fan fictions, but what you need to realise is fan fictions are completely separate from the actual franchise itself.
Some people should tell it to the makers of Star Wars, but that's another episode as well.
There's a story for another time.
Exactly. So,
I mean, I know Kira's written a few fan fictions about Harry Potter and Draco Malfoy.
Oh no, there's a fan fiction where Kira is Hermione Granger, and she's cheating on with Harry, but that's another story entirely.
Yes. I figured that would get her attention.
I imagine Kira talks about his wand as well.
I don't anymore. You have no proof.
I can still find it.
You probably could.
Let's see. What? Let's see. As she touches his wand and she unsheaths it from his pants. That's all I'm saying. If you want more of that Harry Potter fanfic, message Kira and ask her to see Harry's big shiny wand. Or maybe she's a Hermione girl. I don't know. Maybe she likes a bit of Ginger Ginny. Who knows?
I'm surprised no one's done a Dolores Umbridge one. I know there's probably some out there, but
I will have order. See, if I should be a voice actor, it comes in handy. Speaking of which, Harry Potter, sir. It's Dobby, sir. Can I help you, sir?
I feel like the only times I really cried in this franchise with the films was when Dobby died. Sorry, Grogu, but it's true. Dobby got knifed.
I put him to bed now and the subject would come up because I know for a fact he would cry.
So he got knifed by Bellatrix, I believe, because the knife went through the portal. And because it was meant for Hermione, wasn't it? Or was it actually meant for Dobby?
I think she was just trying to get any of them, in all honesty.
Yeah. And then, obviously, Dobby gets knifed.
Yeah.
And then,
street crime, Harry Potter thug life.
And then, obviously, Severus gets killed by Nagini.
And as for the Dolores fan fiction, it should be Dolores X Fudge.
Well, yeah, she kisses his ass enough anyway, so.
What do you think is scat porn? What?
Or Dolores. Oh, you did not just go there. Dolores X McGonagall.
Oh no, there's a Dumbledore McGonagall one out there.
I know, I wrote it.
Have you seen the one about the Marauders in Lily?
No, and that's a bit scary.
I've actually seen one about Sirius and Lily.
Okay, it gets worse because that one with the Marauders and Lily involves them transforming into the animals.
No, stop. Just stop. Sirius and Lupin. We all know that they're a couple.
What, Siri Loop?
Yes.
Don't even get
And then
to
there's Voldemort and Bellatrix. We all know they're a couple.
But that's actually a thing in canon because they're the parents of I don't remember her name, but it's the girl that's in Cursed Child. Oh, what is her name?
I don't know. Why does part of me want to say Belladonna?
That kind of makes
Delphi.
sense. There you go. Thank you very much. So yeah, because she's in the Cursed Child, and her parents are Voldemort and Bellatrix. Which is weird considering she was married to a guy called Rodolphus.
31st of December, apparently. Sorry. She gives you information.
So was Voldemort.
I didn't know that.
Same birthday. So
See, again, there's another thing that has pissed me off, and it is about the Black family.
so reword that, please.
It's in Sirius Black's family.
Because that's not what you meant. Just to be clear, you was like that's the Sirius is the Sirius.
There's going to be that one person that goes, Black Lives Matter, and that's it. We've had it.
Well, of course, that'd be serious.
But no, so with Sirius Black's family is Andromeda. She gets touched upon briefly, but there is an actual backstory in the books which isn't really explained.
Yeah, because Andromeda is Tonks's mother, and her father father is Ted,
Muggleborn,
who's a Muggleborn.
That's it. Yeah.
And of course, that eventually touches upon Tonks's kid being Ted Tonks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love him.
And then obviously you've got Narcissa Malfoy, who is her sister.
I love her. Sorry,
I know,
she's so underrated. She's so underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen the entire Black family tree? Because there's a diagram of it out there somewhere.
I think I have briefly.
Right. Pretty much everyone that
I've got to move back because I'm squishing my fetus.
Yeah, let's not do that. So, but pretty much every character on there in some fashion or another is related to the constellation of the night sky.
Mm.
It's the Black family trait for names. It's where the names come from.
Is that?
They're all stars or planets of some kind or nebula.
Oh.
Yeah, it's where the names come from. Regulus is a star. Sirius is a star.
Andromeda is a
Draco's
Andromeda, yeah, that one I know.
Draco is a constellation. Andromeda is also a galaxy.
Yeah. Draco X Apple. That's the other one. Sorry.
Draco's the dragon. It is a constellation.
Drapple fan fiction.
Oh, don't! I've seen a candle that's labeled Draco Malfoy, and it smells like apple and wood and mint.
I hate to break you, but Draco's wife ends up being Astoria.
Mm.
Yeah. Yes.
Which is touched upon in Cursed Child as well, but because she's the mother of Scorpius.
Yes.
Which is Draco's kid, for anyone who's not aware.
Yeah. I really like, so obviously, Harry Potter fan that I am, I have only just realised that Draco is part of the fucking motto for the school.
Black family tree.
Yeah, speaking of family trees, we're going to touch upon this as a Harry Potter film franchise, and obviously this is touched upon one of the books. Pretty much everyone in the wizarding world is related.
Yeah. Like Arthur Molly's second cousin or something, twice from, I don't know, it says something in there like.
Right. Is this Norfolk?
No.
I feel like we're supposed to understand that.
Inbreeding. It's known for inbreeding.
So Sheppy, but
Right. Because
got fired.
Because here's the thing, though, Judge. If you go directly by that, Harry and Voldemort are related.
Mm.
Oh.
Through the Peveril brothers.
You're making me question life here.
Because the only one that isn't passed down through a blood family line is the Elder Wand.
Mm-hmm.
The Resurrection Stone is because of the ring, and the cloak is passed down as well. The wand, of course, changes hands by usually violent means.
Yeah, it's by dueling.
We will touch upon the wand though, because there's some holes in that particular little thing.
It's a wand. It's not meant to have holes.
I know. I was about to say it's a wand. It shouldn't.
I mean, as in the law surrounding the Elder Wand, or the Death Stick, or the Wand of Destiny, or the Pick of Destiny, whatever it's called. Can you imagine Dumbledore up in his office playing the Elder Wand?
He seems like the type, though.
Well, he's probably a very frustrated wizard. Maybe he's got Gellert porn. He's got a picture of Grindelwald up in his office somewhere.
Gay.
Oh.
They're a couple. We all know it.
Here's the thing. I have a take on that. I think Dumbledore loved Gellert. I don't think Gellert loved Dumbledore. I think Gellert was actually straight. I think Gellert used Dumbledore's feelings.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time a guy's used someone.
That is plausible.
So,
are you okay, Steph? Do we need to get Dr. Phil in?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's been an hour.
Jeremy Kyle.
No, my brain's not functioning properly.
maybe she's Dumbledore's wand.
No, I've got coffee jitters because I
Why are
downed an
you
energy
drinking
drink.
baby diarrhea?
No,
Or maybe maybe you did a family meeting.
Shut up. But no, I before the show I chugged a cup of coffee, chugged an energy drink, and then chugged another cup of coffee.
Sounds like Dumbledore.
Oh, energy drink.
Dumbledore chugged a wand. I mean something. No wonder Alpheus Stone's so happy. Because him and Dumbledore was going to go travelling together. Cruising.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Try reading those books now after I've put those sort of images in your mind and try to avoid thinking those thoughts. Good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
I will be back in a second. I need to pee.
On a serious subject, though, why do wizards not protect their wands?
Because it's unprotected for a reason.
If they don't have, hang on, you just brought something to my attention here. If they don't have like medicine the same way we do,
right?
How do they use contraception?
Magic. Babius, remove us.
Fetus, delete us. I'm a horrible person.
I started that. So.
I'm the pregnant one.
Babius, adopt us.
I'm sorry, I love you really.
Yeah, Babius, adopt us. There we go. We're not killing them then.
There we go.
But I'm guessing because when it comes to things like that, wizards to a certain point are stuck in a certain period of time because they never really modernized because no technology and stuff because it doesn't work. So I'm guessing a lot of that's what we'd consider old thinking. And it's just a case of essentially it's if you get pregnant, it's fine. I mean, look at the Weasleys.
I was going to say, I just thought of something. If they're not like up to date with modern things, could you imagine Arthur Weasley's reaction when he discovers vibrators are a thing?
Well, what do you think when Molly uses the wand for? Can you imagine Molly's reaction if she ever goes in, like Anne Summer store and discovers the wand?
Yeah. The one. Oh no!
Obviously, that's what they're called, right?
They're called, yeah. Oh no.
There's going to be a lot of misunderstandings there. There's some fanfic for you to write there, Kira.
Wait, gives me a project for this weekend.
Exactly.
Promote my Wattpad.
I mean, that actually, we're going to bring a point up there, right? Because they're so, because of the way the Wizarding world is. You mentioned about obviously medicine and stuff. As far as we can tell at Hogwarts, they don't teach English or maths. So how do these children know how to do any of these things?
That's true.
I mean, what are they, Steph? What?
Oh my god.
But it does seem a bit weird because if you're trying to get wizards to blend in...
That's the first time they go to school.
Right. If you're talking about the wizard-born ones, I mean, not the ones that are from Muggle families because they've had experience with it, but ones that are purely wizards, if they ever go to the Muggle world and need to use anything like that, they're not going to know how to because they've never learned it.
That's weird. But they were all expected to write, so they must have learned it somewhere.
And how do they convert wizard money into real money? Because that's a numbers thing again.
Mm.
They expect the goblins to do all this stuff for them?
Well, maybe they use the Muggle-borns to do that for them.
Also, Muggle-borns same.
Because I'm pretty sure, they mention it because Hermione's parents actually end up in Diagon Alley in one of the books, don't they? To ask.
Yeah, I have questions about that.
Yeah, because they say at one point that they're going to go get their money changed. Yeah. So someone somewhere knows how to do it. But you're right. If they try to do it on their own, yeah.
But the thing is,
if they tried to do it on their own, they wouldn't know how.
Right. But you touched upon something there. How did Hermione's parents get into Diagon Alley?
I don't know, because I always wondered that.
Yeah. Obviously, it's a book thing, not a film thing, but I think it's a valid point, though.
Yeah. But she never explains it in the book either, so...
No, she doesn't. She's very liberal like that. She forgets to explain stuff.
Maybe it's because she had a wizard with her. Maybe it's because they had a wizard with them. They had Hermione to show them how to get in.
Wouldn't she count as a witch? Not being picky, but...
Yeah, same thing.
Because the Wizarding world seemed to need...
Gender equality, you're all labelled the same thing.
Right, but here's the thing, though. Generally, there isn't a discrimination in the Wizarding world in that regard. Whether you're male or female, it's not relevant, apart from the fact you're a witch or a wizard. Other than that, everything else is fairly equal, right? So why is there a need to distinct? I mean, I'm assuming it's a holdover from when they integrate with Muggles.
Possibly.
Because the Wizarding Statue of Secrecy was only for 200-300 years or so it wasn't that long.
No.
I mean, at least they haven't discovered cancel culture in the Wizarding world.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Wait.
Can you imagine that? Cancel Harry. Cancel Ron because he's ginger.
You had a transgender wizard. How would they deal with that? They could just bibbidi bobbidi boot themselves into the gender they identify as.
That's what transfiguration is. What do you think? McGonagall always looks so happy? and her husband to be really loved her because literally, no matter what form she was in, he always got to have pussy.
Hello, I am.
Okay, yeah, but we're elaborating on various distinctions about the inconsistencies of certain parts of the Wizarding community in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
About the fact that they seem to need to gender assign wizards and witches, but yet every other aspect of the society seems to be gender neutral.
Yeah, it doesn't seem fair. in all honesty, they all perform magic.
Yeah. Also, most of them can also do transfiguration, so you can always hide your penis or hide your boobs.
Yeah.
Or change them into one or the other.
Polyjuice potion.
Well, there you go. There's another way of doing it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, if only I could do breasto reducto on my boobs.
Well, it could be worse.
You missed.
You missed
the other ones.
Kira's solution to wizard birth control.
Oh God, why? Oh, what, the whole fetus deletus thing?
Yeah.
Fetus deleters.
I heard that.
I came up with a
I
remedy.
just think if they don't use medicine in the magical world, how would they have birth control? And that was it. The baby spells came out.
Yes, I came up with one which stays it, which is.
But I guess it could also work the other way. Like if you had trouble conceiving, you could just be like, boop.
Pregoto.
Impregnio.
Yes. If you're a single.
That would be dangerous, because you could literally go around as a wizard and literally just go around women and go impregnio.
And then you can technically
increase the population.
How would that work though? If you had a kid with another wizard or witch, how would that work if you break up? Would you pay a child support, or would you just say that kid's not mine? I used impregnio. You have no proof.
It wasn't me. Somebody else impregnated her.
J.K. Rowling, please answer these questions.
I mean, I think it's worth exploring, especially because, I don't want to be accused of falsely impregnating anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Or doing a fetus deletus spell on anyone either. It's a really good job that this show is not meant for children, because I think we would have just made a bunch of children cry.
Oh, yes.
I'm about to make it worse.
You're warned, Harry, Hagrid said as he inserted himself into Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry, you muppet.
That's what it says.
No, it doesn't. It says you're a wizard, Harry. He said as he
You're a wizard, Harry. Hagrid said as he inserted himself into Harry.
Yeah, I meant to put him, but I accidentally put Harry.
What was he doing? Popping his wizard cherry? What?
I don't know. I just came up with it while I was outside having a smoke.
Did you use the Wonder Game and go Harrius Gaius?
Is that how we've got so
many?
Wait,
hang on, I'm making it worse. Give me a minute.
Oh no, here we go. But I think another thing.
I'll say this coming from the mind that came up with fetus deletus. I'm really curious what this is going to be. Harry leans back and smiled softly. Say it again, Hagrid, as he whispered, "What am I?" Harry, you're a wizard.
You let the wrong people have access to the chat.
It's insane.
We're going to have a whole 50 Shades fanfic going by the end of this.
A fucking wizard! Is that what I actually touch upon, ironically enough, is that fan interpretation and fan fiction about the Harry Potter franchise? Because it is a thing. So it's something we're going to talk about anyway. So this makes sense. Because we know Kira actually writes fanfic.
Me and Kira used to write fanfics together in secondary school.
So we've had practice doing it.
We've done Hunger Games.
Not this kind of Shadowhunters.
Yes, we've done quite a few.
Who was hunting whose shadow? Was Steph hunting
mortal instruments?
I think Stephanie was hunting shadow because she was used to that from when she was younger.
How does the rest of the script
where is shadow? Where is shadow?
Huh?
How does the rest of the script go? Oh, fuck it, we're making it up at this point.
Oh! Oh, Harry! Your big wand, Harry!
No.
I don't know.
Say it! Harry, say Fetus deletus Harry, make me your Harry, wizard Harry.
I don't know if this is how you spell it, but
It's okay, I remembered.
Obviously, for our viewers, two guests here are writing Harry Potter fanfic in our private chat right now, which is where it's coming from. So, but bear in mind, there are sites on the internet where you can find this stuff up, and people put up all sorts of fanfic, whether it's just regular cheery fanfic, or whether it is sexually obsessed or demented fanfic. I'm not a wizard, moaned Harry. I'm just Harry. Wow. I'm curious as to did Hagrid say afterwards, was it good for you, Harry? And he went, magical. Right. But anyway, let's get sort of back on the topic. That is not going. I am not saying that on air, right? So,
Yes, you are.
anyone who's ever watched the Salty Stuff podcast can probably guess what they just put in the comments. It involves something to do with a mason jar, and that's all I'm saying. Right.
So, one thing that I do want to touch on is obviously the Half-Blood Prince.
Apparently, Harry and Hagrid's love affair, judging from the private chat. But anyway, the Half-Blood Prince.
So, obviously, you know how
We all want to
Harry finds the potion book?
Well,
Yes.
Okay, I would just touch upon the fact that Kira just wants to find Alan Rickman, is what that is.
Yes. Yes, she does.
But anyway, yes, Harry finds the Half-Blood Prince potion book, yes.
Yeah, and it's like, because I believe says the Half-Blood Prince in it.
I am property of the Half-Blood Prince, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah. Yeah.
But, like, I think it's briefly explained that it's Snape, but there wasn't a lot more added to it.
The film, yeah, he literally just says,
I'm the Half-Blood Prince.
Mm.
But in the book,
Because
he's
Harry-
just like, you think you could use my own spells against me, Potter? Wait, I'm pretty sure that's the film as well.
Mm.
Yeah, that was
But he does more of a rant.
That sounds more Rickman than book.
Yeah, but there's more of a rant about it because I'm pretty sure Harry uses one of the spells on Draco in the bathroom.
Sectum Sempra.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like Snape,
And that's how
magically
Snape
knows.
knows he's got the book.
Yeah. It's just, it's one of those that again isn't really explained.
It's got nothing to do with the
No.
fact Harry's learned some really interesting sex positions from that book. It's more the fact he just used Sectum Sempra on Drake.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay. I have a legitimate question. It's just going to sound really bad though, but hey, the company have right now this conversation means it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. We touched upon wizards' health and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
If a wizard can't perform in that way, obviously they don't have Viagra or anything. What do? Because erectus.
Apiopelio.
And what do women do about the menopause? Remuvio or Returno or
That one, yeah.
Mm.
Or, you imagine having obviously magic for that once a month thing going, not today, thank you.
Disappeario.
Goodbye.
Disappeario, never returnio.
Yeah.
I would love to have that spell. That would come in so handy.
But there's some things that you ask about, you really have some questions about if they ever in the morning as to how some of these things would work, because it'd be like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, there is, because I know, isn't it Bill who marries Fleur?
Yeah.
Or is that? Yeah. It never really gets mentioned about how they met in the films.
No, well, to be fair, you don't actually meet Bill until Deathly Hallows, so that probably is why.
Because
in
it's just like...
in the books you meet Bill, I think it's actually meet him as Goblet of Fire. So apparently Kira's gobbling down something, or she's just frozen.
Yeah, she's frozen on my screen.
Yeah, you're kind of stuck sort of with like a bit of food in between your lips. It kind of looks like Harry's wand from this angle.
And she's done it again.
Kira, remover.
Well, if only there was a spell for painting the rest of my bedroom.
Akio Kira.
Hey!
See, brought you back.
Magic.
Yeah, I did. Literally magic. I went Akio Kira, and you appeared. It's amazing. It's almost like I had control over something.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Magic.
Yes.
Yeah. I used my magic wand to make you come.
But obviously I don't know if you touched on it while I was away, but spells that don't really make sense in the Wizarding world.
Right. Yes, we will actually. It's something we were going to touch upon, which is kind of why a lot of the jokes about these spells came up, because some of them really make no sense at all.
No.
Would you like to give us some examples that you thought of? Or would you like me to think of a few?
Yeah, we'll go with that one, because my brain's not functioning due to coffee jitters.
Right. Well, probably the most obvious spell that makes no bloody sense is Accio.
Yeah, that is true, because all it does is just literally give you something.
It's like, come here. Be like, why don't you just go and get it?
Yeah.
Or ask. It's not like it's difficult for people to move.
No. It is kind of a pointless spell. I mean, it makes sense in Goblet of Fire a little bit, because with the Triwizard Cup.
Yeah, plot point.
Yeah. And,
he uses it to summon the broomstick.
And he also
in the book, not in the film.
Yeah. It's like, because when obviously Cedric dies in
spoiler alert, Stephanie.
When Cedric dies and becomes Edward Cullen.
There you go.
Sorry, I've already told the internet that Dobby dies, so.
Oh.
The funny part is when we do the Twilight episode of this, it will literally start with.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't supposed to send. I was going to see how much I could type. Oh,
Snape walked into the dungeon, a shadowy figure against the candlelight backdrop. Lily's ghost often appeared, and today she sat on his desk with her unusual schoolgirl attire. He licked his lips nervously. Hello, my little angel, he growled. Wow!
What is this? What kind of porno is this?
I was getting really into it, but the fucking spacebar did me dirty and sent it by accident.
I think Kira got a bit too excited, is what that was. But legitimately, I actually have a legitimate thing, even regarding what you've just written a message about there. Wizard porn, right? And the reason I mention this is their paintings move. So what's Playboy like in the Wizarding world?
Motion picture.
One.
It's basically Pornhub in a magazine.
Hugh Hefner knew what was good.
What's it called? Was it called Wands Weekly?
I don't know if you guys heard what I said, but it's Pornhub in a magazine.
Yeah, probably true. What would be the gay version called? Wizards Clash.
Wands Collide.
Dumbledore Diaries.
When Wands Collide. Yeah. Dumbledore Diaries. As Gellert came up to me and said, Albus, let's discover it together.
Give me your wand, Albus.
I was going to say, You've actually touched upon something there. In the film version of Deathly Hallows, when Voldemort asks Lucius, thank you, Lucius Malfoy for his wand, it's the way he asks it. It's like, give me your wand.
Your wand.
It's so sexually sounding. It's kind of creepy. And the first thing he does when he gets it is he snaps it.
Yeah,
makes all the men win.
He was like, "I'm gonna break that dick."
Oh dear.
It does seem a bit weird.
Yes.
But if you're going to look at phallic symbolism, and this is I think I will actually just mention it, you notice how when Draco needs a wand later on, it's his mother's he gets given.
He got daddy issues, mummy issues.
That's all I'm saying.
But what I appreciate about Narcissa as a character is how she was
married into the family.
Yeah.
No, wait. Yeah.
She doesn't actually have the dark mark.
No.
Compared to Lucius and Draco.
No, she's not a Death Eater.
No, she was just. But yet she attends all the meetings.
Well, to be fair, it's her house.
Yeah, but that's despite the point because Voldemort could just say,
Bella has it.
"You fuck off."
Yeah, but you notice how he doesn't.
Yeah, which is kind of weird.
Well, maybe he's shagging her too.
Is it?
After all, he was shagging
I was
Bella.
about to say, or is it?
He was shagging Bellatrix, so maybe he's having a sister too.
I mean, he could be.
Maybe he was having a black bang. Maybe he was having a black family gangbang.
Maybe she was the chosen one to have the child, and she was like, "Nah." So Bella was just like, "I'll do it. Anything for you."
Anything for you, Voldy.
I think Narcissa went, "No, I'm not damaging my figure." So Bella went, "I'll do it. I'm a slag."
I do love the actress that they cast for Bellatrix, though. It was
Helena. Yes.
Yeah.
You can do it so well, though.
She pulls off quite a bit.
It's because she's a good actress.
Yeah, but what about the role?
I have multiple, that's the problem.
I'm talking about Bella, not you, Steph. Well, you can pull off quite a bit, or Bella Bottom Carter can. I'm getting confused now.
I still think it's quite funny how, like, it's only taken me this long to realize that she was married to Tim Burton. That's part of the reason she got all the roles that she has.
Mm-hmm.
What, in Tim Burton films, you mean?
Yeah. She was married to Tim. What? I'm confused.
Yeah, she was married to Tim Burton, and she'd been in a lot of Tim Burton films.
Yeah.
And it never occurred to you that it's because she was married to Tim Burton.
But never, actually, I didn't know until it came up one day that they'd got a divorce, and I was like, what?
Well, there you go. Now you know.
I just think it's rude that we haven't had a Marilyn, Johnny, and Tim three-way yet. Yes, I'm sticking with that name.
You're assuming that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if it had.
In the words of Marilyn Manson's song, "Boys and girls of every age, wouldn't you like to do something strange?"
Is it bad that I didn't know that was written by Marilyn Manson until I saw it on YouTube the other day?
It wasn't.
Well, there you go.
It wasn't written by Marilyn Manson, was it? He did a version of it.
He didn't write the song.
It wasn't actually.
No, that's what I meant. Was like he did.
He did the version of it. Yeah, I was gonna say because I don't think he actually wrote it. It was what's his name?
Michael Myers.
Thank you. Wait, you're messing with me there, aren't you?
Michael Myers is the villain from Halloween, the films.
Yeah, that was like.
She's using her evil Amazon device.
Danny Elfman, I always fucking hell. It's because I associate Mike Myers with Halloween movies, but Danny Elfman is also associated with like everything.
Hang on. Mike Myers is Wayne's World. You're talking about Michael Myers.
Oh, they're all right. Okay, they're all the same person.
Why is it when she said Mike Myers, I think Shrek?
Yeah, because that's Mike Myers.
Yeah,
Michael Myers is Halloween. That's why you have
Michael
to
Myers is the guy. Yeah.
Pregnancy brain. Love it.
It's all right, Kira. After 3, 1, 2, 3, deletus fetus.
Oh my god, it's fetus deletus.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Grammar Queen.
He messed it up. It worked.
It's how you've got a fetus.
I'm gonna start saying that after sex. Preferably after I'm pregnant, after the baby's born. Otherwise, I just feel bad. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it makes sense.
English is not number 1 today.
No, that's obvious.
Yeah, she speaks English. 1 up, 1 is 2.
It's 15.
Hence how I finally passed mine.
Idiot.
See? Definitely knows English.
Yeah.
Comes out.
See, I passed my English on like the first go. English was my subject.
Did you say you perked you on your first go?
I said I passed my English on my first go.
Don't fucking rub it in.
Maths, it took me 3 attempts.
It took me 4 attempts to pass English. Shush.
Well, to be fair, Kira, clearly you learned how to do it because you knew how many times it took.
Yeah. The thing is, the first 2 times I failed was literally. They told me I was only something like 10 points out.
She forgot to carry the 1.
Yeah.
Isn't that what she's doing now? I see you finally learned how to carry the 1.
Actually, no, seriously though, relating to childbirth, right? No, in the Wizarding World, right? In the Wizarding World, right?
Oh, there we go. More context, I was going to say.
All right. Obviously, when you give birth to a baby in the Wizarding World, obviously they have magic and stuff. So surely it doesn't cause pain to give birth because they can use magic, right? But would that affect the child being born? Because look at what happened to Voldemort.
He has no nose.
Well, no, when Tom Riddle was born,
he did have a nose. He only didn't have a nose because of his reincarnation.
No. Sorry, what I mean is because when Tom Riddle was born, his father was under a love spell, so he was born from basically magical love, which is one of the reasons that explains why he's the way he is. So would using magic in any form of childbirth affect the child? This is my question. Or would you prefer the pain relief? I mean, how would you look at it? As women.
I was going to say, her family was also a bit incesty, so... His mum's family. That is.
You mean the Gaunt family, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but my point being, is if you were witches, and I mean as in the magical term, to be clear, right? If you were pregnant, would you want magic to help you give birth, or would you be afraid of the effect it could have on your child?
I mean, if you could just go...
I mean, that's the same as asking me now, do I want, help delivering and, like the drugs and anything, because they can have an effect on her either way. So, it's the same sort of question.
Okay, I know we've touched upon this discussion before, but I figured it'd be useful in this context, obviously, because not everyone who's watching this would have necessarily heard that conversation. But
I mean, in general, not just with me. In general, it can affect the baby. So,
a couple of things. One, if I could go accusate baby, and it just painlessly exits my vagina.
Right. Hang on. Akio brings things to you. You'd be putting the baby back inside.
Oh, okay, well, remove-io, baby-o. There we go.
That works too.
The second thing is love potions with a love potion, isn't it technically like? Oh, this is gonna probably trigger some people, but I kind of associate it with the Wizarding's version of a date rape.
Warning.
Of what? Sorry, Steph.
It's kind of like a Wizarding date rape drug in a way.
Yeah,
A roofie.
basically what it is. Yeah, because the person is not acting of their own free will. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So technically, did they consent to conceive Tom, or what's going on?
No.
So Moral Thorpe raped Tom Riddle Sr.
Oh my god.
Write that fanfic, Kira. I dare you. Right.
Challenge accepted. Watch me, I will.
I'll help you, don't worry.
In what sense?
What I downloaded, I'll bibbidi bobbidi boop it.
Oh, whatever sense she wants me to help her with. But like, that's just made me realise just how dark the Wizarding world can be, because I've only just connected the love potion with a date rape drug. And like, I've been reading Harry Potter since I was a child, and these are meant to be children's books.
But the thing is, they do point it out afterwards, because after like she has the baby, like she stops giving him the potion, he becomes aware that he's bamboozled.
And that's why he
So the whole village is just like, oh, you know, she tricked him and all of this. She, you know, she forced him.
Yeah.
Which isn't wrong.
So they do actually meant it.
But they don't actually know why.
Yeah.
Well, he might have wished he'd stayed around considering what ended up happening, because, you know, Akio Fetus turned up and the family kind of got punished, really. Through the wand of, balls, I can't remember his name. Because Riddle used his wand. What's his name?
Which character?
The gaunt one, the one with the scraggly hair.
The dad or the son?
The son. It's going to annoy me. She's going to look it up.
Yes. Yes, she is. That has really
because the granddad is Malvolo. That I do know. I just don't. It's the son's name I don't remember.
Yeah, because he's Tom Marvolo Riddle, isn't he?
Yeah, which is the Malvolo is his grandfather. Meryl Thorpe's his mother, but the son is. That's going to annoy me. It really is going to annoy me in a minute. So I'm actually going to look it up because it's going to annoy me otherwise. Because it's annoying, but the fun that will not be had by me. It's going to annoy me.
But that's quite, that's just made me realize it's like worse than the fucking the Muggle world, essentially, because there's so many charms and spells and potions that can be used for deception as well. And it's like, because obviously you've got liquid luck.
Not all men, but it's definitely all wizards. I'm about to get so much flashback for that, aren't I? I'm sorry. I don't mean, I wasn't taking the myth. I was just, oh shit.
No, but,
quick, can you just remove my contacts from this? I'm about to get eaten alive.
You'll be fine. I'll deal with them. But no, it's like, because obviously you got liquid luck, so that means if you go for an interview and you have the liquid luck, I can't remember its actual name, so I'm just going to call it that.
Got it. Morphine.
Well, it was
Morphine.
Sounds
like morphine.
Morphine. Oh, druggy ass.
Well, that's the thing, because he took his wand and he used Morphine's wand to kill his family.
He did.
But that's the other thing as well.
Stole the ring.
You can tell what the last spell was that was used on a wand from a wand that was fired.
It's finite incantatum.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah. That's not how it's used in the books and film, sorry.
But it's like, why would you need to know what the last spell that was fired from a wand was?
To determine whether that wand committed a crime, generally.
But there's no
criminal
police in the Wizarding
There
World. It's like ministry.
There is. No, there is. It's the Department of Magical Law Enforcement, so there is police.
Oh, okay. But that, again, is never shown in the film.
Well, the auras are part of that department. Just they are a higher
yeah, I was
version.
going to say the auras they're mentioned, and well, I love Kingsley. Kingsley's my favourite.
I was like, when you see Kingsley in the film, so there are auras in the films. Moody was an aura.
You may not agree with him, Minister, but you have to admit Dumbledore's got style.
So there are auras shown, but obviously there are more shown in the books than there are in the films.
Yeah.
But you're right, though, because essentially there are no real police shown. Because when the memory flashback, for example, which is not in the Goblet of Fire, because none of those memory flashbacks properly are, when you first visit the Gaunt family, you're going with Tom Ogden, who is from the Department of Magical Law Enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big explanation to the Gaunt family and to Tom's mother.
See, the only flashback that I can remember from Goblet of Fire, was it Goblet? I can't remember, but when it's the one where Albus goes to the orphanage and meets Tom.
Half-Blood.
Yeah, that was the one. I couldn't remember the film. But that's like the only... The other time we see it is when Severus gives Harry his memories in the film. But the memory thing, like the bird bath thing...
The bird bath?
The pensieve.
Yes, the pensieve. It's only used in the film a couple of times, whereas throughout the books, it's actually used quite frequently to show Harry different things.
It's used from pretty much Goblet onwards. It's in Order of the Phoenix, which isn't shown in the films because it's that's how he discovers the memory, the Snape's memory thing.
Yeah.
It's quite a prominent thing because he learns a lot of things by using that particular object.
Yeah.
So, yeah, again, it's another one of those things which is weirdly cut for no reason.
I think another thing as well that is kind of not, which should have been looked on, was Dudley's character development in the books.
Yeah.
They should have got larger and larger and larger, just like his waistline.
No, but it's like, he starts off as an absolute dick to Harry, and then you see it kind of throughout the books.
Hang on, I think you've been reading Kira's fan fiction. Did you say he's an absolute dick in Harry?
Oh, towards Harry.
That is incest.
I was going to say no, it's not, and then I remembered they're cousins.
What is Kira's fanfic? So you know,
but it's just like he starts off as an absolute. He bullies Harry, and then you can slowly see the transition to him being what he is in Deathly Hallows through the books. But that story and character development isn't touched upon in the film.
I have a question for you about Dudley. Just a hypothesis. I have no evidence for this. I mean, I have suggestive evidence, but not actual evidence. Could Dudley actually be gay?
I feel like there is, some indications in the books. But again, I'm not entirely sure because he never gets mentioned about having a girlfriend or a significant other. But
he's always hanging with other boys as well.
Yeah. It's just, that's a weird one for me.
Yeah, obviously, to be clear, I'm not saying he is. It's just a position.
Yeah. I mean,
is it possible?
Hypothetically speaking, yes. And I can definitely see the indications there. But at the same time, I think, if anything, he could be, again, like Remus, passed off as bisexual.
Okay.
But, hypothetically speaking, the indications are there that he's gay. It's a really weird one. It's like a lot of the characters' sexual orientations are quite weird. Like, because I've seen so many people saying, like, oh, Hermione's bisexual, but she was lesbian until Ron turned her bi. And there's, like, there's all of that bollocks on the internet.
Well, here's the thing. I thought Harry was gay for a while. Seriously, reading the books, right? Because he seemed really obsessed with Ginger, but then I realised it was actually just Jenny.
Yeah,
it wasn't Ron at all. So, yeah, let's see what Kira has to say about this, because I'm curious as to what Kira would think. So, Kira.
Hi.
Yeah. So I put a supposition forward to Steph. I'm curious as to what you think. Do you think it's possible that Dudley might be gay?
I mean,
besides fan fiction,
I was gonna say,
I do, to clarify, I mean in canon.
I mean, possibly. He's never really mentioned. Yeah, but he's not really a big character, so he's not really ever mentioned to have a girlfriend.
How dare you? How dare you? He is a big character.
We're not on about size. It's not about the size.
There'll be no fat shaming here.
We are all about body positivity.
If you're brave enough.
Well, Dudley, that might turn you straight.
Use as a stick of dynamite.
I don't know.
It's just an hypothesis, because you never see him around girls. He's always hanging around boys, and also he's constantly bullying Harry, and you tend to bully those you love.
Yeah, but
as a teenage boy, I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it when you're at, well, think about it when you're at school. Generally, the boys that bullied you were the boys that liked you. They just wouldn't say it because they were, teenage boys.
So that's why Josh never loved me. Damn. He didn't bully me.
I was going to say,
or maybe you're bullied by girls. I don't know how that works.
But,
I mean, in primary school,
the girls that bullied me, on the other hand, they were just as bad.
You didn't go to school with D, did you?
No.
Okay, just checking.
With me though.
I did.
And that made us straight.
That made Steph straight.
No. I mean, spaghetti straight.
Yeah. FYI, people, we're joking. You can be what you like. I don't care. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But no, it's just.
Okay. Just wait until November,
Why November?
I just realised none of you have any context to what's happening in November, so.
Well, I know what's happening in November as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, same.
But Kira, I do have a question for you.
What's happening in November? The love of my life is going to Wales Comic Con, and I plan to meet her.
I'm actually going to Wales Comic Con. I've already got tickets.
Hey! I know, I'm booking the next week.
Because it should have happened in April, but it got postponed because of you know what.
Yes.
Yeah, here's the other thing. Steph, Rochelle's going as well. She's going to meet half the Buffy cast and get photos with them.
And I'm just going to be stuck in Kent.
For one person.
What's that? Which one are you going for?
Did you really just ask me that? Did you really just ask me that? I'm going for Jason Isaacs. No, of course I'm going for Mary McDonnell. I've waited so long to meet this woman. I am paying the 80 quid to get a photograph and an autograph.
Okay, what day are you going?
Hopefully the Saturday if the tickets are still available. If not, then Sunday.
I'm there the Saturday. That's the day ticket I have.
We're hoping to get. When I looked on the website, like all the priority ones were starting to sell out quite quickly. Yeah,
so I have a priority ticket. I got it back from when it was supposed to happen in April. That's why. So it's on my. I've literally got it as an e-ticket. It's on my phone.
Whatever.
Oh,
I'm gonna get one.
How much? Oh yeah,
I am.
Also, I have a personal one-to-one meeting with someone.
Who? You didn't.
Look,
You did this to spite me, didn't you?
Yeah, because I'm gonna get her phone number. We're gonna do kissy. We're gonna take some pictures. I'll send them to you.
I'm not gonna lie. If I don't get to go, can I send you the money to get me an autograph? Like if I honestly, I will send you the whole fucking lot. I don't care. Just
sure.
I love her.
Sure, I don't mind.
I'm hoping to go.
Well, the thing is, I've already got my
tickets.
Yeah, I've already got my tickets.
I've got to convince someone that it's worth going.
What, fetus?
You know, there's no one there he wants to meet, so it's kind of literally just for me going to meet him.
How rude!
Well, then he can babysit Claire.
But there's loads of decent people there to meet.
Exactly, that's what I said. But then I also said someone probably should come with me because I might have a bit of a crisis.
Well, if you go, well, Kira, if you go on the Saturday, I'll be there.
Yeah, but okay, that's true. I was about to say then I'd have to locate you, but
I can find you. That's easy because
just look for the panicky person sitting in the corner, rocking back and forth.
Well, the thing is, we've got phone numbers and stuff, so you can always use the locator thing and like to find.
I haven't got yours anymore because I've got a new phone. Yours wasn't saved to the SIM card, so
we will sort something out. It's fine.
That's fine. But yes, if I end up going solo, that would be appreciated. Because that way I'm not having a panic attack on my own.
Well, as I say, I'm going to be there anyway, so you know.
Might as well.
So
it came up literally. We were talking about it in the car the other day because he wanted to go to one of them and see if London Comic Con was on this year. And I said the only Comic Con I would actually go to is if she decides to appear. And literally, it came up on my Facebook the next day that, you know, announcing. I was like, "You son of a bitch, I'm in."
Well, this is one of the reasons I originally got tickets for is because one of the models I shoot with is going. That's Steph knows Rochelle, because she's going to meet the Buffy cast because she likes the Buffy cast because James Marsden's there and a whole bunch of other ones.
I know. Yeah. I'm tempted, but I might have a crisis. Actually, like talking to her would be okay because I don't want to look like a dick. But talking to he was, you know, a childhood crush of mine, and
well,
I don't think I could have a verbal conversation with that man.
Well, here's the thing. My friend Rochelle, she's getting pictures and an autograph with him.
I want to. I do. I actually considered it. The same with Jason Isaacs, but it's, you know, it's looking at them and knowing that, you know, you occasionally sit there drooling over them, and it's like, how do I have a conversation with them?
I'm curious as to whether you'd end up calling him Lucius as well.
I probably would. I guarantee you, I'll do it with. If I actually do get to go and meet Mary, I guarantee you, I'll slip up and call her Sharon, and that'll be it. I'll burst into tears and run away.
You may want to put that into context for people who don't know the reference, because most people would know it from Battlestar, but that's not what you're referring to, is it?
She's also in Major Crimes. She's Sharon Rader. Like,
But obviously, Jason Isaacs, of course, is in Harry Potter, which is actually related to what we're talking about.
Yeah. Sorry, I got sidetracked, as I often do.
It's a natural thing that goes with the conversation, but yeah, this is also a big thing as well. Obviously, fan convention and stuff. A lot of the Harry Potter actors will go.
Yeah.
You just mentioned Jason Isaacs going, so yeah, Lucius.
He's the main one that I know that's going. The actor Neville. No, not Neville. You know who I mean, don't you?
Well, the one that plays Neville is
Finnegan.
Oh, Seamus.
Yeah, he's the one that's going, not Neville. And I know her name, Miriam something.
Oh, yeah, that old coot, right?
Flower pot lady.
Yeah, you need to watch. You need to seriously go meet her. She's a wacky mental nut job, and she's brilliant.
I've seen some of her interviews with Graham Norton, and she's just hilarious.
Yeah, I've been told by various people I know who've met her. Do it.
Yeah. So say at the moment it's primarily Mary, And if I had to pick someone else, it would have to be James, because, you know, it'd kind of be rude not to. I might just stand there for a good 5 minutes just staring at him, but it's all good.
Right, because that actually touched upon something else as well, because we discussed about the film franchise. I was going to ask if any of you had crushes from that franchise. Obviously, you've just mentioned about Jason Isaacs. Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I get flustered thinking about it.
How about you, Steph? Any crushes from the franchise in question, or are you like Kira and unrelated ones? You don't have to say who they are. You can just say yes or no.
From the Harry Potter franchise, I mean...
What was that, Steph? McGonagall?
Tom Felton.
Yeah.
Tom Felton.
I mean, okay, yes.
My laptop screen is literally just pictures of Draco Malfoy in his 7th year and shirtless pictures of Tom Felton. Oh.
I think that's fair enough. I do find it funny because most of the time, if I ask particularly girls of a certain age, who's your favourite Harry Potter character? A lot of them will say Draco.
Yeah. Because he's gorgeous. But
He
that's
is
not who I would...
gorgeous.
Despite the fact he spends most of the franchise being a dick.
Also, Fred Weasley as well. He's quite.
You could this just says everything about me when I say I don't go for. I mean, Tom Felton is gorgeous, but my first and just Alan. I can't help it.
We all know you like older men.
Oh, he's
To be fair, the Alan Rickman thing, as a heterosexual man, I understand it.
Thank you.
It makes sense.
People look at go, why? It's his voice, and he's just got that. He's just. I don't know.
There are certain things as a heterosexual man you
Bowing,
just understand.
It's just his voice.
I mean,
you could just talk to me, and I'd be happy.
So obviously, with girls liking Draco Malfoy, most girls say they're in Slytherin house because of Draco. I've actually done
Slytherin his house.
No, yeah, I did that. I did the actual test. I'm in Slytherin.
Yeah. So have I, and I'm in Slytherin.
I would have quite happily been a Hufflepuff that's just obsessed with Draco. You know, I would have quite happily done that crossover.
It's something I was going to ask you guys about is whether you'd ever done one of these house sorting tests and what you got. But obviously, kind of
we did the official one.
Oh, the Pottermore one.
Yeah, or whatever it is now, because it's not actually called Pottermore anymore.
Well, as it
Wizarding World. Wizarding World.
Yeah, but we did the
Pottermore. When it first came
your mum
out,
made us do it.
Yeah, I got Gryffindor
well
time, and I took it again in year 10, and I turned Slytherin. So your house can change.
I have a weird one for you. I did it. I got the hat stall thing. It gave me 2 houses because it couldn't split me.
It was like I ain't got a clue.
I literally got Harry's.
Oh, nice.
The one the hat splits in between because it can't decide, and then Harry asks it to be one or the other.
Yeah.
So literally, before I pick, I literally got given Gryffindor and Slytherin.
Yeah. Right. I need to pee again.
It's about to
it's a shame. Shame you haven't got a wand because that way you could just make it disappear. Or Pierce Begonus. Or bloody emptiest.
Yeah.
Or Berthus Quickest.
Use the remove the baby one now. Tired.
Remove the babyest when you're readiest.
Yeah, just so I could sleep without worrying and suffocating her.
You can't do that.
I know I can't.
Unless you suffocate yourself, then you can't do it.
No, but you know what I mean? I'm one of these people that I sleep on my side, but like I'm also on my stomach. And that apparently is bad while you're pregnant. So it's so uncomfortable.
Well, you're normally supposed to sleep on your back, I think it is.
Yeah, you're not supposed to sleep on your back either. Puts pressure on your spine.
Apparently, you're not supposed to sleep in front, you're not supposed to sleep beside, not supposed to sleep in back. But you're supposed to levitate above the sheets and not touch anything?
Yeah, I've had several. Like, I have a baby tracker email thing, and the last couple of weeks, it's been doing that to me. It was like, don't sleep on your stomach, which I already knew. Don't sleep on your back, which I already knew. And then it was like, don't sleep on your right side, because apparently the right side increases the risk of stillbirth. And I'm like, what? So I can only sleep on one side of. How does that work? You know what? Fine. Now I've just got to the point where I don't sleep.
Well, there's no way that can all be right.
No, I know the back one is because it puts pressure on your spine, so it can cause problems for me. Sleeping on your stomach, it's bad for her. But the sides,
yeah, those first two make sense to me, but the side one, it makes no sense.
Makes no sense. Makes no sense.
So okay, now we think about it. I think I know the answer to this, at least from Kira. What's your favourite characters from the Harry Potter franchise?
Kira, you go first.
Snape and Luna. Those are my two favourites.
Okay.
See, I like quite a few.
Okay.
I like Nymphadora.
Okay. Here's the thing, guys. Can you tell me why you like those characters? This is the I'd say I want to find out.
Alan Rickman's gorgeous, and Luna is one of the most underrated heroes. She's such a sweet person, and yet she's mocked and bullied all the way through. But she's valued.
Okay, but why do you like Snape as a character?
No, it's just his voice. I'm sorry, it really just does come down to Alan Rickman.
Okay,
I mean, I like his backstory. I like how everything he did was for the love of his life. I like that. And that he took all the shit that he did for one woman. I like that. But yeah, mainly it does come down to just Alan Rickman.
Okay, that's fair enough. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just curious what the reasons were. Okay. So Steph.
See, I like Nymphadora because, like, in a way for me, she was a role model to, like, not take people's shit.
Don't call me Nymphadora!
Pretty much.
Change his hair colour.
Yes.
I love her. She's great.
Yeah, she's great. I like Remus because Remus was singled out for a while, and then because of who he was, but he ended up embracing who he was.
My favourite thing in the entire thing that he says is eat. It'll make you feel better.
Yes, eat this. Chocolate helps.
Is this a
one of the most statements in the world.
Hang on, is this a fanfic thing again? Eat this, it'll make you better.
No, he actually does say that.
I know he does,
make you feel better.
But it's just the way you said it.
Oh.
Yeah. But,
also, it's kind of creepy that he's saying it to it like a teenage boy.
Mm-hmm.
Eat this, it'll make you better.
But I do agree with Snape as well. Snape has a good backstory. He's a strong character. I personally like Dudley because one, he gets turned in. He gets a tail in the first movie, and I like the character development, and he is in a way a bit underrated. Because purely based on the fact, like, he's not seen that much in the films, and he's perceived as a bit of a dick.
Mm-hmm.
Draco, because Tom Felton is drop dead gorgeous. That is the only reason.
So essentially, some of these characters are your favourites because of the film versions of them, not necessarily the book versions.
In a sense, yeah, but in a sense, no for me for a couple.
That's nice and clear. Thanks, Steph.
You're welcome.
Luna was my favourite because of how she is in both the books. I just think Ivana portrayed her perfectly in the films in the end, but her character overall was pretty much the same. She was misunderstood, bullied, and taken for granted, and yet she was quite helpful.
See, because that's the thing. I think me and you both can relate to some of the characters because of bullying and stuff.
Yeah.
I can see Kira relating to Voldemort because she ain't got a nose.
I have a nose, and that's the issue. My nose is one of my biggest insecurities. Thank you for reminding me I have it.
Well, Look at this way, Kira. You don't have Voldemort's nose, so it can never be that bad.
That's true. No, but like I hate it. I hate my nose.
There's nothing wrong with your nose, honestly.
I know there isn't, but I just don't like it. Even though it's like a family thing, like we all have the same nose. I don't like it in the way no.
You don't like it on your face, is what you're saying.
Yes. I would like to remove my nose. I would like to be Voldemort.
Because Kira would like to live forever.
See,
oh, Severus, only Kira can live forever.
I would live forever with Severus.
Snape's memory, huh?
I do feel like they could have got someone a bit better to play Cedric Diggory. Personal opinion.
Well, Vampire's never a good actor.
No. But it's just one of those. Like,
he nearly broke his leg jumping out of that tree. Like they made him do it so many times.
Oh, that's such a shame.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Well, look at it now. He's Batman now.
I just feel like some of the casting choices they made were a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah. Look who they got to play Ron. Jesus.
He's an okay.
Yeah, they got
actor.
Jesus to play Ron.
Again, I feel like Rupert Grint is an okay actor, but there were some better
he's
options.
kind of like, yeah. He kind of like went. You don't really hear much about him anymore. Like he had his
all you hear is he's like
that was it.
He actually bought an ice cream van and just basically goofs off everywhere, riding around his ice cream van. That's literally what it is.
Oh.
Are you being serious? Or are you being sarcastic?
No, serious.
I can never tell with you.
Look it up. Honestly, look it up. He bought an ice cream van and he travels around in it. I mean, he does do the occasional bit part and things. He did a TV series not too long ago, but he actually owns an ice cream van he drives around in.
That's actually pretty... Oh, God, she's using the Amazon demon.
She's using the evil Alexa, which would never work in a Wizarding household because the technology doesn't work with magic.
I just, but no, I feel like some casting choices should have been better.
Who do you think is the biggest miscast?
See, I feel like, again, I'm going to go back to the Robert Pattinson shit. I feel like he was a big, I feel like he could have been, there could have been a stronger actor.
Okay. I mean, essentially, though, he is cannon fodder, so it's not really that important.
No, but it's stuff like, the thing is, as well, is I get they were trying to, like...
Also, spoiler alert, he gets killed by Wormtail.
Yeah, I mean...
There isn't really much worse that can happen to you. You get killed by Wormtail.
We love Scabbers. It's just how long he stayed as Scabbers for, that's the thing.
Do you think it's really creepy?
The best casting is
all
Warwick
the time,
Davis, because he literally plays everything. He's everyone.
It's something to look at. As Scabbers, Wormtail spent years being in Ron's bed.
He was sleeping with an old man. He was sleeping with an old man.
I mean, if Snape could turn into...
Oh, dear God.
I will bring up a plot point here as well, by the way. When the twins had the Marauders map, why did the map never show that Wormtail was in bed with Ron? Because even the Scabbers, its name would still show.
Maybe we didn't want to bring that up.
Yeah, I think that's one that they tried to avoid.
Ron, are you gay?
But then, but Oh wait, yeah, but if Fred and George, but then if the Fred and George read it, they would have been like, who? You know who?
Yeah,
So
but it's still a man's name.
I'm gonna say maybe it was just because they didn't know, but then again, if Fred and George had it, like.
But the thing is, it doesn't say Worm. It doesn't say Wormtail. It says his actual name. So it's a man's name.
No.
So there is a man in the same bed as their brother.
And as the pranksters, they would have automatically been like
ripping the shit out of Ron.
So you'd think it would have been a thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the Marauders map. Like, obviously, it tells you where people are. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if that's how you found out teachers are sleeping together?
Dumbledore and McGonagall.
Yes.
Like, guarantee they taught them at least once.
What is Flitwick doing with McGonagall?
What's Finch doing with Umbridge?
I know.
Yeah.
I know Finch and Pomfrey. No, that's a thing, honestly. That's a thing.
Oh wait, yeah. No, but no.
Yeah.
I know it. It kind of seems like, but no.
But the thing is, in the books, it's not. It's Madam Pince and Filch.
Yeah.
Pince is a librarian, just to refresh your memory in case you don't remember.
Yeah. I was just trying to think of other teacher couples.
Flitwick and Sprout.
Is a Flitwick like the little
I
midget?
was actually going to say Slughorn and Sprout, but sure. That would work a little bit too well.
Trelawney Hagrid.
Oh we are really visiting world.
Because those two seem to end up as a couple in every other movie. It's it's a Johnny Depp and Helena situation all over again.
Yeah, so basically Trelawney and Snape, apparently, right?
Mainly because they end up together in everything else.
Yeah, it makes sense, yeah.
And exactly. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but
it's even worse when if you open the map and you see all the teachers gathered together in a room and then they get really all close together and you realise they're having a gangbang.
But they don't know that. The kids just think they're having a meeting and the names are just in a weird place. They could have giant orgies and you never know.
Well, Dumbledore did know where the room requirement is, that's all I'm saying.
And the room of requirement doesn't show up on the map, does it? Or does it? Does it?
I don't think it does.
Not unless it's actually open. The room has to be open, otherwise it's not visible.
Because if they're in there, I was going to say, they wouldn't be able to see, but if it's open.
Because the thing is, you open the map and then there's no teachers on the map. It's like, where's the teachers? They're all in a requirement having a gangbang.
Yes. Where did everybody go?
Oh, Professor! Get it out of me, Professor!
Can we also talk about, there was a deleted scene for Deathly Hallows Part 2 where you see, the deleted scene is you see Draco helping Harry.
I think that's the porn version. I think you're mistaken.
No, I've seen like
I don't think I've seen I've seen the outtake.
I've seen an outtake where he actually gives Harry a wand to help fight bloody
No, you're right. I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it didn't make the film.
I like that one. I like that one blooper reel where they did the prank on Daniel Radcliffe and they put a fart machine in his bed. That was great. I love that.
Since we're going to talk about scenes with our scenes, but this one actually made it into the movie. Voldemort hugging Draco.
Oh yeah.
In the courtyard in front of everyone.
It's like awkward. Just like, okay, get off me now.
Tom, it's okay. I love you, Tom.
Did you know that I think it's
Tom, give me, like your father, give me your wand.
I think it's the youngest version of Tom Riddle in the orphanage is actually
He's related to Vines, right?
is his nephew. Yeah, he's his nephew.
It's actually the middle-aged boy, not the youngest one, but the next one up.
Mm.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was the youngest. Oh.
Because it's not the teenage one, and it's not the really young one. It's like the one in the middle. It's a hard thing to explain. I think that's right. You may be right, though. To be fair,
I thought it was one in the orphanage.
I'll tell you what. I will check because.
Hang on, I got the book next to me.
Ooh, fancy.
She's got the bloody book.
Big chunky one.
Yeah, brought back the book.
Not the only thing that's thick and chunky.
This one has like all the info on the costumes and behind the scenes and shit. It's like in the Death Eater section. Just like
Okay.
right at the back.
I have a question for you while you guys are actually going through that. It's related to the Harry Potter lore. The Deathly
There
Hallows.
we go.
Yes.
Which one would you want and why?
The Harry Potter. The
Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
I was actually about to say something else, and then I changed my mind. So that one. He's shit that way. That's his nephew.
Then that's the
That
one
one.
from the orphanage. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I have a really immature answer. It's not my actual answer, but I would say the invisibility cloak, so I can go perv on people that I like.
Fair enough.
Oh, I thought we were discussing the wands.
But
Wait, what?
oh,
What was the question?
the Deathly Hallows, the cloak, the stone, and the wand.
Oh,
I will
I
go
heard
for-
which
I will go-
wand would we want,
I
and I was automatically going to say the bobbly one because it's like anal beads, but
We will go to one. We'll go to ones in a minute, but the cloak of invisibility, the resurrection stone, or the elder wand. Which would you have and why?
Oh,
the stone. I know
I was gonna say,
there are repercussions to it, but
You guys have read Big of the Bard, right?
yeah.
It's the story that's done in the film, Steph, if you haven't.
no, I
Yeah,
haven't.
the story. Yeah.
Okay, because it's a morality tale, essentially. Because there is actually a right answer to this question, according to the Harry Potter thing, but we'll get to that in a minute. I want to know what your answers are first.
Yeah, the stone. I know it's not the one that you're supposed to pick, but the
No,
stone.
it's all right. We'll get onto that in a minute. So, what about you, Steph? Don't look it up, Steph. That's
No.
cheating.
No, give me a second. I need to.
Oh, she's put it in the chat. She has put it in the chat. Why?
Okay, right. So, so while Steph picks that one, I'm going to ask you why the stone.
I lost family members that I didn't get to say goodbye to. And I would just to say goodbye.
Okay.
Even though I know the whole bringing them back is supposed to hurt them thing, because that's how they portray it in the story, that it makes them unhappy because they've moved on. I would do it just to say goodbye.
Okay. But we will touch upon the stone in a minute anyway, because there's a particular reason I was interested in what you had to say about the stone, because the stone obviously gets used in Deathly Hallows by someone, and it's used for the purpose it's intended to.
We love
Yeah.
family.
Which is an instance where it is not a bad thing. And it actually reflects upon something which you actually pretty much just said. Harry uses it in a way which you're supposed to stone, was to enable him to pass on to death so he could say goodbye and then be reassured. Because it didn't matter he brought back the dead, because he was going to join them.
Yeah. Even though if I were to have it right now, it would be just to say goodbye, because I didn't get to. I was actually prevented from saying goodbye because of COVID and stuff, and the severity of certain things, and the fact that I refused to follow the DNR.
There was the temptation with the stone to do what the brother did and hold
And
on
just
for
have them back.
while.
Yeah,
See,
I'm going to admit, thinking about it, it would be there, but at the same time, I wouldn't want that. You know, you have to move on eventually. It would be just to close.
Yeah, because
even though, sorry, what I was going to say is, for a very selfish reason, I would choose the stone, and I would use it the way the brother did. Because, you know, I never got to say hello. I never got to say goodbye, which, you know, it kills every day. But I have come to terms with it. But if I had the chance to meet her,
you would, yeah.
I would use it. I know the repercussions, but I would risk that just so I could see her.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, right? Because a lot of people get asked this question, and the most common answer when people say the stone is it's literally for the reasons you both just said. And those are very understandable reasons. But it's also the same reason the brother wanted to use the stone as well. And you saw the fate that befell him. The thing is, though, as we point out, Harry uses the stone, does the same thing, but the context is different.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a very important thing when it comes to decisions, is context.
Yeah. But with the brother, he tried to keep her alive. He wanted to live happily ever after with her, but I know that wouldn't be possible. Like, I would bring, it's mainly my uncle, I would bring him back, and I would, I'd probably sit and tell him everything, like, you know, the fact that I'm pregnant, that that me and Ben, I'd sit and, to fill him in on everything that he's missed. I'd tell him I love him, and that would be it. That would be like that closure for me, because I never got it. So
I mean, obviously for my daughter, that's who I would use it for. But
I would
even
say,
if it's
obvious,
I would say, in all honesty, in both cases, they both know these. They both will know. Okay, even if you don't necessarily get to tell them, they will. They will.
Oh no,
know
yeah, but I feel like everybody's entitled to that opinion, but I don't believe in that crap, because if that kind of thing was real, then they wouldn't have lost him in the first place. So,
well,
I mean, everything happens for a reason.
It's a bigger subject, which we do not have the time to talk about here.
No,
But I was just curious what your answers would be. Obviously, by going by the tail, the correct answer is the invisibility cloak. Okay, but here's the question I would ask you. Do you think owning all three at once, like Harry ends up doing it in the book, is actually a good thing?
No, too much power for one person.
Okay.
Just send a kid to art school. We all know how that ended with Hitler.
So
like piece of straight face. I tried. I'm the worst person in the world. I know. I'm aware of this.
By the way, Hitler went to art school. That's all I'm saying. So artists are dangerous. Anyway,
it would be like giving Trump the power of presidency all over again. I'm sorry, but
if someone had just hugged him as a child
and told him he was loved and that fake tan was bad.
Okay. FYI, Hitler was actually born of an incestuous marriage.
Oh.
But anyway.
I never knew that, but thank you for education.
Yeah, so there's a lot of context. Plus, there was a lot of death and grief in his young life, so that probably affected him quite a bit.
Yes, a lot of emotional trauma can lead to psychopaths trying to kill a massive population.
Yeah, there are many examples of this. But,
being Kira. Just go.
Okay. So here's the question. Okay, Kira's sort of touched upon her belief here, but I'm going to ask you guys this. With the Deathly Hallows, do you believe the brothers created the Hallows, or were they Death's Hallows? Is the tale strictly true, or is it like an allegory?
I think it's like their version of like God and thing whatsoever. Like
so, so do you think it legitimately was death
did that make sense to anybody else but me?
I got what you meant. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of like their religious sort of thing, because they all seem to know about it.
So would you say that you believe that Death probably made
like
them.
death as a person is real. Yeah, for them, yeah.
Okay.
I'm
not saying you're right or wrong. I'm just curious what your opinion is.
I would agree.
Okay.
But I also see it as what do I want to say? So you know how obviously you've got the apple in like the Bible and the temptation.
The Adam and Eve story, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's the wizarding version of that because obviously they're the temptation.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. Yeah.
Well, the whole Garden of Eden thing, the apple was the temptation of knowledge, and knowledge destroyed the Garden of Eden. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
Knowledge is power. Yeah.
Yes, but if you go by what it says in the Bible, by taking the apple, by trying to get any knowledge, they lost paradise.
Yeah.
See, what we also learnt is fruit is bad for you. Eat chocolate. Sorry.
We love Lupin encouraging a life lesson.
I do actually, you know, believe it or not, I'm not a practicing believer. I do have certain beliefs in them. I just, you know, I've lost too many family members to actually practice it anymore. Yeah, I do believe that there is.
Kira's a practicing cynic.
Yeah, who knows what I believe in anymore.
I used to have a lot of beliefs that, you know, something would happen to make my life better. And it was just have to wait. Tend to
lean towards the more like the Catholic rules, and well, she says that about being, you know, 28 weeks pregnant. You know, like the way I feel like the way they did things, like they do things, makes sense to me, but I'm not practicing as it.
But I used to believe all good things would come to those who wait. To an extent, I still do, but I had the best thing that could have happened to me. And then it got stripped away from me. That and it kind of knocked me my belief. And I believe everything happens for a reason, and I do believe that was the universe's way of saying that I wasn't ready to be a mum. But someday maybe.
I was going to say, harking back to Kira's thing about the Catholic belief system. Well, Catholics don't believe in contraception, so that means you're fine. And
yeah, you know, I just realised it kind of, you know, makes sense. Yeah, but I'm not actually a practicing Catholic. I just think some of the way they do things, like their rules on marriage and like divorce and things, I feel like some of that makes sense.
Are you faking it rather than practicing what?
Like, no, you know what I mean? Like, I don't go to church every Sunday. I don't, you know, celebrate the religious holidays other than, you know, the way most people do. Like, I eat chocolate at Easter and like open presents. Yeah. Like, I don't sit there and, you know, thank the Lord. I mean, I am grateful for what I have, but, you know, I don't necessarily believe that there is a higher man in the sky that, you know,
controls our every movements.
Well, how dare you, for one thing? I take my job seriously. Secondly,
well, maybe.
But secondly, and this is related from what you've just been talking about, in the Western world, there isn't really religion or anything, right? Okay, they don't really have religion.
Dumbledore is God.
However,
he's old enough.
They celebrate Christmas and Easter. Please explain that.
I don't get it. I think it's due to the commercial value.
What, for wizards?
Oh. I don't know. Maybe it's their way of trying to fit in.
What, do you think they like go Magico Easter Eggo? What?
Oh my god, if only that was a thing. Accio chocolate.
Engorgio.
Yeah, just make it bigger and bigger. Bet men wouldn't have a problem with that.
I think half the men I've dated need that.
Just Engorgio.
No, that's not Engorgio. What you want is Bigus erectus.
No, it's Enlargo.
Yeah,
no, because if a man does that, men have no concept of what size is. They'll either go too big or too long.
Go big or go home. Sorry.
Is that what you said to Ben?
And he went, baby.
Yeah, and he was like, babe. Boom, a child.
He went, babius impregnatus.
I shouldn't be allowed on the internet.
Are you sure?
Do, 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 do. Harry, I'm having your baby, said Professor McGonagall.
Oh my god! So that's how he passed his owls.
That's how he got on the Quidditch team.
Just don't ask how he became an aura, because Kingsley was the head of the Ministry of Magic.
We Master Kingsley, we bow down to him.
Well, Harry did. That's how he got the job. Harry, your one work needs improving.
Anything for you. We all know the real reason why Dobby needed that sock.
Right. Anyway,
Dobby's free.
we've actually got.
I'm sorry.
If you want
I've
to get
noticed
really
if I'm here, we don't stay on topic. So, maybe I should just leave.
no, it's fine. We are still talking about the subject matter, anyway. We're also going to the aspects and outside stuff. Plus, we did mention fanfics of things, so this is fine.
Yes.
And
And
obviously,
again, I'm
this is us discussing, so
I got a pee too. So,
I actually have a very serious one. Okay.
Mm.
Do you think Dobby's voice is that high because he got castrated at birth?
possibly.
Because a lot of the male house elves, their voice seems to be really high.
But Creatures isn't. He's like really low.
Are you? Well, okay. Is it house elf puberty then? Do they not hit puberty until they're really old or something?
Possibly. Maybe Dobby's just a child. Which makes his death even more sad.
Yeah. Also means Harry should really be ashamed of himself. That's child labour.
I mean, they were all slaves anyway, so.
Yes, but Harry should know.
Not saying slavery is okay, but he freed Dobby. Technically, I mean, he freed Dobby. So.
Okay, yeah. The message we get from this podcast.
Slavery isn't okay.
Yeah,
No,
well, Kira's trying to dig herself out of a hole because she said about it's okay that Harry's that Dobby serves Harry. So.
In which way?
Slavery isn't okay. Oh my god! You guys just make me look so offensive. Slavery? I'm a nice person. Right, I got to pee. My turn. Bye.
Yeah, good escape plan, Kira. Well done. But okay, here's a question for you. What? Legitimate, serious question. Which character in the series probably should have died but didn't?
Is it bad that I want to say Harry, so this series was never a thing?
Wow! Well, if that happened, Warner Bros. would have been screwed. There'd be no films.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like Lucius should have died. Purely because I think he's a dick.
I actually have a legitimate shout out here, and this is one I'm sure people will disagree with, but I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Hermione and Ron.
Ooh, I mean, I can understand why, but without them, Harry could have died.
Again, I don't see the bad side to this.
No, nor do I.
But they could have died in the final battle at Hogwarts, and it wouldn't have made any difference.
I feel like Fred shouldn't have.
Why not?
Because, like, he didn't do anything to deserve it. He didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, but not being funny. In real life, nobody does anything to deserve. Well, most people generally don't do something to deserve to die, but people still die.
This is a good point, well made.
Which is why I think Rowling did it, is to show you that it can happen to anyone.
Yeah, I think it was just like, I feel like it was too soon for him. I also feel like Nymphadora and Remus shouldn't have because of Teddy.
Okay. Here's the thing, though. There's a fair point. It also just proves the fact they definitely weren't identical twins because George should have felt it. But secondly, the reason why Tonks and Lupin died was because Arthur didn't. Arthur should have died in Order of the Phoenix, and he didn't, and that's why they ended up being killed. Definitely.
It just,
So the argument would be, surely you just kill Remus. It still serves the same function, because then all the Marauders are still dead.
Yeah, but the thing is, what they've basically done essentially is left Teddy in a Harry Potter situation.
You mean Teddy, who doesn't get mentioned in the films at all, so nobody cares?
Yeah, exactly. But in the books, obviously, Teddy is mentioned.
Here's a weird one, right? Do you know Teddy Lupin was actually cast for the epilogue, but they didn't use him?
Why?
Probably because they never mentioned about the fact he was born in the film.
Yeah, which is kind of shitty, the fact that they didn't. Hello, darling.
Hi. I might have to go because my mum's been trying to call me.
Okay.
Shit, I left the room for 2 seconds. It's a bit late.
Yes, just a little bit. But
let me text her.
I'd say before you scoot.
Yeah, no, let me just text her.
Okay.
Because it might just be she misclicked.
All right.
My phone was on Do Not Disturb, so I haven't actually looked at my notifications for a while.
All right, no, she saw that one out. So okay, so you touched upon who shouldn't died. Who should have died?
Me.
Harry.
Sorry.
And the franchise. It's
I'm
not
sorry.
Harry.
I'm okay, I swear.
Also, it's not your fanfic.
Oh, whoops.
Which character should have died but didn't? And conversely, who would you actually like to have survived but that died?
I think Sirius should have survived and Umbridge should have died within the first 10 seconds. I think she should have just appeared as a character so we knew she was there and then been like...
And then got died.
And then got died.
Avada Kedavra.
Why would you have Sirius survive that? That I'm curious about.
Because Harry's lost enough.
See, very different to you, Steph. Steph actually would have killed Harry.
That way the series would have never happened.
Oh my god. Hang on, just answer me.
And then all of this uproar wouldn't be a thing.
And Kira thought her answer was bad. Yours is much worse.
Wait, oh no, right. Quick side topic. If a wizard is suicidal, all they have to do is just go point the wand at themselves and go Avada Kedavra.
The minute you started that sentence, I knew where you were going with it.
It just popped into my head.
But the problem is you have to mean it. Yeah, because those
you have to, so you can't just throw a tantrum and be like, you know what, Mum, I'm gonna go kill myself. You have to really mean it. So I suppose.
And then you could use the spell that Harry used on Draco. I've forgotten what it's called. If you want to sell one, you just
Sectus Emperor. Yeah.
You imagine emo. You imagine if you're an emo, you'd love that spell. Sectum Sempra. Sectum Sempra. Sectum Sempra.
We should really put a trigger warning on this.
We should.
A what warning?
I think
A
trigger warning.
People get triggered by suicide.
I was gonna say we've been a trigger warning for the last 2 hours.
Yes.
I think we've covered everything at this point.
Okay, it has a sign saying mature content and over 18. So basically, anyone who's watching this has already been warned.
Oh,
Are you sure
yeah.
about that?
Well, they should know better. But
I know people over 18 that are still triggered by certain things.
oh, don't you worry. I'm going to really trigger people in a minute. Fantastic Beasts.
Aaron, if you're watching this.
Wait, who did you say?
So Karen, if you're watching. Oh, that's a joke. It's not as funny if I have to repeat it.
Oh shit! What happened there? I think I minimized you. Yeah, I minimized you.
Right, Fantastic Beasts.
Wow! Don't minimize my feelings. I'm a human too.
Oh, I thought you was an android.
Okay, we're going to touch upon Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. The textbook that's been made into 7 films, apparently.
It's being made into 7 films, apparently.
Yeah. We know Kira has strong feelings about this, and I will get to this in a minute. Grindelwald.
Kira has strong feelings about this because she's in love with Johnny Depp.
Note to self: do not let her in the casting room of Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
didn't she get fired because apparently she wasn't skinny enough to fit in the costume?
Apparently, but God,
what Amber Heard?
It's Warner Brothers.
No, they've postponed the making of it because the petition to have her removed hit quite a few numbers. So they, even though it's an online petition, they still have to review it because they could lose more money if they cast her because people won't watch it. So they actually do have to review the situation.
Now, I'm not watching it.
Nope, I'm not either. I didn't even watch the first one.
No, I'm going to be honest, I'm not watching it anyway because the first one was crap. But
yeah, no, I haven't even seen the first one.
Okay, it's not really on topic.
As for Fantastic Beasts, I think I can never remember his name, but the guy that they've supposedly cast to replace Johnny,
Mads Mikkelsen.
He's an amazing actor.
He played Hannibal in the Hannibal episode.
Yeah, he is an amazing actor, and he's already said that he doesn't want to replace Johnny Depp. He's not going to try and be Johnny Depp. So, props to him for that. But I don't think that it's going to work. I mean, a lot of people are so angry about it anyway that they've already said that, if it's released, they plan to boycott it and not go. They'll not buy tickets to see it, which makes sense. But
I would say to be fair to Mads Mikkelsen, if I'm an actor,
I'd watch it.
And somebody offers me that role, not being funny, I would want to do it because I want the work. I want to be paid. No issue.
Yeah, especially at this time.
Yeah. Also, COVID. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
But at the same time, everyone else will probably look at it and go, well, he's trying to replace Johnny Depp. No, the man's just trying to make a living. And I doubt he cares about the politics involved.
Yeah.
However, the hypocrisy of Warner Brothers Studio, who also, FYI, make the Aquaman films.
Aquaman. They refused to remove her because they took her side.
Yeah.
But
here's the funny part about the Johnny Depp one. He's still going to get paid for that film.
He is. He's still being paid for it, but he actually resigned in the end. He didn't want to be in a show that he was going to be hated in. He didn't want to work with people that hated him because he knew that they were going to keep Amber and not him. So he released his statement of resignation that he understands and he doesn't want to cause any problems. So he just left. But which, is heartbreaking because that's his career. He's giving up roles because he doesn't want to work with people.
But Warner Brothers still have to pay him.
Yeah, because they restarted shooting.
Because he has something called a play or pay contract.
Yeah.
Which basically means you either use me or you pay me. So they still have to pay him as if he did the film, even though he's not going to be in it.
Yeah.
See,
but I know that there's also a petition for. There's also a petition for Pirates of the Caribbean that's kind of gone over to bring him back, and apparently Tim Burton is working on a new role with him, so he has got work, but it's not the point.
If I was Johnny Depp and it comes to Disney, I would tell them fuck off. Okay, no matter what, because what Disney did to Depp is actually worse than what Warner Brothers have done.
Yeah, but again, it's the work, and he's got so many people that are trying to support him to get him back in there to give him the work that I think he doesn't want to let fans down by turning it down, because he's already let them down enough by having to leave this film.
But the problem is it means working with Disney. And not being funny, Disney have so many problems right now, and it's not a good thing. But again, but Disney is not part of what we're talking about. Warner Brothers is, though.
No, that's a kind of burst thing, because I have a bone to pick with Disney now. And I'm just going to say Falcon and Winter Soldier.
There will be a show about
everybody's
the
talking
MCU,
about it. I'm not
Disney.
a Marvel person. Huh?
Yeah. So there will actually be. I'm going to do a late show this about Disney.
Oh, we love Disney.
I don't know.
Like
the goods and the bads about it, because there are some big bads.
Oh, I know there are bads, but I try not to look too much into the corporation itself and more into the movies.
Yeah, but you touched upon one of them, and it's something that would end up being discussed.
Mm-hmm. See, I want to put something out there.
I did.
Obviously, Jason Momoa worked really closely with Amber Heard, but yet he stayed quiet about everything.
Of course he did.
Because, but he's said that she's never done anything to him. So he can't take sides. But
so that makes it okay then.
No, but that's what he was asked.
If that's his defense, that's a bullshit defense.
It is, yeah. But I know off topic slightly, just tiny bit. But did you notice how quickly she jumped in when Marilyn Manson was accused?
Well, that was obvious, because that's virtue signaling at its worst.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is a preview of The Burst.
Oh, right. This subject, particularly when it comes to things like that, is for the Patreon-only podcast, which is called The Burst, and I am really going to unload on that show. It's not suitable to be seen by the general public.
By anyone.
It's going to be there.
By anyone.
Because I am going to rave over a lot of these things, but much more so than what we're going to do here.
I don't
There's
like
many things.
But the whole Marilyn Manson thing hasn't been proved either way. There have been rumors for years. So,
Back to Fantastic Beasts.
Sorry, my bad. I get distracted by cute guys.
I know. I understand. It's easy to be diverted by these things. That's one of the reasons I'm here, is to make sure we get back to where we should be. Niffler, there we go. I was going to say.
Yay! I love him.
I knew he'd be relevant at some point.
I have a bigger place now. And she hasn't got enough toys.
I'm not donating this one, I'm sorry.
By the way, there is no such thing as there's never going to be a time where she has too many. It's always going to be she doesn't.
I know. No, I know there isn't. But she hasn't got enough. She'll never have too many, but she still hasn't got enough.
Yeah.
Her cot is looking very empty, and she's going to be a very tiny baby. So.
Yeah, but plus Kira needs toys too.
Yes. It's okay. I'm in the process of making some. Okay.
And we don't mean the ones that buzz.
I know, that's why.
I mean, I didn't know Ben doesn't satisfy you that much. Gee.
I never said that. I never said that.
He's been slacking since he got you pregnant.
So Kira, is he a wizard?
Oh,
yes. He's magic. Feel like that's not what you meant, but I'm going with it.
Oh no, that's pretty much what I meant. Yeah.
Oh, he is magic, right? Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Sorry. I was hoping bringing Kira back to the good stuff, right? So with the Fantastic Beasts films, obviously, Steph, you've told me earlier you haven't seen them.
No, I have not.
Okay, no worries. Basically, based on a textbook from the Harry Potter series, essentially, the story is about the guy who wrote that book.
Oh, isn't he a Hufflepuff?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I think I've briefly seen bits and bobs, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, trying to remember the character's name for the life of me, and it's always something I forget. But he's played by the guy that played Stephen Hawking in A Fear About Everything.
Mm.
And a problem is, I think he's a bit too goofy portraying the role. I mean, the character's supposed to be quirky and weird anyway, but I think he's too much. He's too goofy, if anything. But
Yeah.
that's just me.
Where has Kira gone?
Just something dark side.
In a galaxy far, far away, something dark side.
Yeah,
it's a trap.
It's a trap.
Isn't that the name of a Family Guy thing? Something dark side. Yeah.
Yeah, all of those were named Family Guy things. That was the joke. They're all the nicknames for the Star Wars. They're all the names used for the Star Wars parodies. But we mentioned before, Johnny Depp was in the first two of those Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find the movies. He was Gellert Grindelwald.
Oh.
Right.
That explains why she got vexed.
Yeah. So it's a case of he won't be back for the next one because it will be Mads Mikkelsen who's taken over due to lots of high-profile stuff. Most of probably the people of the world are aware of why. But my biggest issue with the films is the guy they've got to play the young Dumbledore in those films. I think he's terrible.
Who's the actor?
That's the funny part. The name's escaping me at this very moment, so I'm going to have to look it up. He's quite well known, though. That's the thing. I just can't remember the guy's name. Put it this way, most normal people will know who he is. It's one of those. So I'm just going to look up the character and hopefully I can find who plays him.
Plays him like a violin.
Jude Law. There you go.
Who?
Jude Law. Trust me, people will know who he is. But I don't think he's a good Dumbledore. And I think that's an issue, considering he's one of the important parts of these films. Also, put him next to Johnny Depp or even Mads Mikkelsen. I don't see how that's going to work. I think it's bad casting. But that's me personally. My favourite character, though, in both of these films is there's a Muggle in it. And he accidentally finds out about the magical world. That guy is amazing.
He doesn't look anything like what the books depict young Albus to be like.
Right.
And I'm going off of the first 7 Harry Potter books, and that just looks like a gay guy doing an impression at a nightclub of Albus Dumbledore. No offense to Jude Law, but there you go. I
don't think it should be any taken. I think you're exactly right.
Oh, and my mother has sent me pictures of Mojo sleeping on her bed. How cute. I've been wondering where the Fifi butthole was.
What, your mum?
No, Mojo. Oh, no, he's upstairs. No, never mind. I just heard him open a door.
So, yeah. I mean, apparently these films have got they're going to basically lead up to the big battle between Dumbledore and Grindelwald in the 1945 one, which apparently leads to Dumbledore obtaining the Elder Wand. Which does seem a bit weird.
Yeah, it's like, to be honest, I swear there was a backstory for it anyway in the Harry Potter films and books. Like, it was briefly touched on how he got the wand.
Yeah, he Jules Grindelwald for it. It's in the books.
So why does there need to be a more in-depth version in Fantastic Beasts when that's basically about, creatures like this little adorable little dude, essentially?
Well, I would point out the fact that the films don't really cover it at all. It's mentioned, but that's it. But
Oh, we have a guest.
But that's the thing, you rightly say. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. It's about a zoologist. It's not about the Deathly Hallows or the Elder Wand or any of that weird stuff.
Yeah. Mojo, come on.
Does seem a bit out of place.
Yeah, just a little bit. Mojo, come in. Stop sniffing my mattress. He sniffs where my feet go on the mattress, so, you know, I'm a bit concerned for his nose.
No, it makes sense. Your feet... It makes sense, because feet sweat a lot and it releases salt and dogs like salt. It makes sense.
Do you want to come say hello to the internet? We're on 2 different platforms today, buddy.
Yeah, we're on YouTube and Twitch.
Yes. Do you want to come say hi to Uncle Peter? Do you want to say hi to Uncle Peter? Come on then, up you come. Come on, I've made room for you. Come on.
He'll come. He'll come if he wants to. We're not going to make him.
No. Oh, she back. Come on.
There we go. Okay, we'll get your opinion on this.
Yeah.
Jude Law as a young Dumbledore
is gorgeous. Sorry, what?
Miscast.
Oh yeah, definitely. But he's gorgeous.
I'm not debating how he looks, but no.
No, it was the wrong casting. It really was.
I mean, there's also the fact of, because it's lead up to the fight between him and Grindelwald, you'd have to have him stand opposite Johnny Depp or obviously Mads Mikkelsen now. He's going to look really bad.
Yeah.
Because I could believe Mads Mikkelsen killing him. It would not be a problem.
And Johnny Depp, so you know. No,
I mean,
he's too much of a snowflake character, as it were. He's not as strong as the others.
Well, he also doesn't match up with a lot of the stuff in the books either, because the books describe a young Albus Dumbledore.
Yeah, that's true.
You get away with Grindelwald because there's no real description of Grindelwald. So he could literally look like anyone. So it didn't matter.
See, the thing is, if they were going to do a young Albus, I'm pretty sure the books did not mention he had a receding hairline.
No.
Sorry, that's the hairdresser part in me, because I pay close attention to hair and makeup details, and it does not say about a receding hairline or a widow's peak.
Well, what makes that weird then is the fact of when you get to older Dumbledore, he's actually got more hair.
And which again, it doesn't make sense.
He bibbidi bobbidi booped it there.
Yeah, his hair is not receding either. It's like hairus repairus. But it is a bit odd. Kira, you've seen the Fantastic Beasts films, yeah?
More or less, yeah.
Okay.
Second one kind of, I didn't get to watch all the way through, but yeah.
Okay, but at least you've seen. I really like the Muggle.
Yes.
He makes
Jacob,
me laugh.
I love him.
He is hilarious.
I love him. He's great. He's so oblivious to everything, and yet he's involved.
It's that laugh as well for no reason.
Yes.
He's the comic relief in the film, and he's probably the only person that's properly cast.
Yeah, definitely. If you read well, I've read the screenplay because I have the screenplay, but yeah, he's a bit of an idiot character, but he's great. What's with the?
Oh no, I'm just sat here listening.
Oh, I thought you were waiting for something.
Sorry, I haven't seen this, so this is going over my head slightly.
That's all right. We're going to touch. We'll go back to the full-on stuff in a bit. Mojo's in the room with her.
Yeah, he's indicating PP.
The one I really thought was really miscast is the orphan boy. The one that ends up being a Dumbledore.
First movie, yeah. Yep. I don't know. I can't remember his name, but yes, I know who you mean.
I know the actor's name, but I'm trying to think of the character's name. In the first one, he has that, what do you call it? That dark.
He lives with the anti-witches.
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, because he's played by Ezra Miller. But I can't remember the character's name. What's his name? I'm going to have to look this up. It's going to annoy me if I don't.
I shall be back in a second. I need to let Mojo out to pee.
No worries, Steph. It's all good fun. So, yeah, just going to look this up.
Yeah, I don't know. She's no help. And I can't come off of the tab without it freezing.
Don't worry, I'm going to find it. Because it's definitely something I know. I just can't remember his name. It's going to annoy me. So, film. Credence Barebone. There you go.
That's it. I was going to say Christian, and I was like, wrong film.
So, but he also plays the Flash in the Justice League stuff as well for Warner Bros.
Never seen Justice League.
So, but it's the same character, it's the same actor basically, is what I'm saying. And I think that is a really bad casting.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why? He looks like he's confused about what he should be doing, what he should be saying all the time.
Yeah, but I feel like that. Bleh, I feel like that watching Eddie Redmayne as well. Even though he's just something about him, he always seems to be quite not fair.
I think, to be fair, Eddie Redmayne, I think that is very much a character quirk he's done for the character, and it kind of makes sense.
It does, yeah. But if you watch him in other movies as well, he doesn't like. It's not really a greatest example, but Theory of Everything, he doesn't seem very there. But then again,
yeah, but that's Hawking. Hawking is like that. If you want an example of where he's really batting off the wall and probably somewhere where he doesn't need to be, it's Jupiter Rising.
I've never heard of it.
He's in it, and he is pretty much acts the same way. But he's also, but he's the bad guy in the film.
Okay.
So it actually makes no sense.
Right.
So here's the thing, though. Jupiter Rising, the hero in it is Mila Kunis. Meg from Family Guy. I'm not making it up. She's a princess. Yeah, this is where Kerry checks up on what I've just told her, and she discovers the horrifying truth of it's real. Oh, it's Jupiter Ascending, sorry. Yes, it's Jupiter Ascending. I actually just remembered that's what it's actually called. I know, yes, Ascending and Rising mean the same thing. I know, but I thought it was best to actually mention that.
He is not helpful at all, so yeah, no clue.
It's Jupiter Ascending. It's Jupiter Ascending.
What character?
She's the main character. She's like a princess in it, but she's on Earth, but has no idea that she's a princess. She gets found out. This gets found about the start of the film. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. She looks familiar.
Yeah, she's Megan
like,
family. She's in a lot of other
she does
stuff
not
as well.
cooperate.
So,
Alexa, home.
go back to Seattle.
We've got one of the screen ones, and you have to get her to go back to the screen page, otherwise she kind of just sits there staring at you. It's off-putting.
But that's just
It's also incredibly vague. The minute you tell her to go home, it puts pictures of me up. So
that's not creepy at all.
Connected to my my app thing, and it's got all my pictures on there. So
Jupiter Ascending.
yeah, I've still never heard of it.
Okay. Yeah.
Ben said it's a movie,
Channing
apparently.
Tatum, Mila Kunis, Sean Bean, Eddie Redmayne, and Douglas Booth. Those are the main actors in it.
Let me guess, Sean Bean dies.
An accurate thing. I don't know what we're talking about, but accurate.
Sean Bean dies. I mean, am I wrong?
We should have a show to be about how Sean Bean dies in every film, but that's not true. There's a couple of films I've seen where he does not die.
There's a TV show as well, Sharp.
True, but there's also another TV series as well.
I think honestly, he was Sharp was.
I only know him from the beginning of Game of Thrones.
Eddie Redmayne's Newt Scamander in the Fantastic Beasts series. I was trying to remember the character's name, which helps.
Newt.
In Jupiter Ascending, he is a Balaam Abraxas.
Nice.
And he pretty much plays the same character in that as he does in Fantastic Beasts, except for Newt's a good guy. That's literally the difference.
Fair enough. You say I like him in The Danish Girl. That sounds better in my head than it did out loud. The movie, The Danish Girl.
I'm guessing The Danish Girl liked it too.
The movie.
Oh, so many things I can say right now, but let's be good. Until Kira opens her mouth again, then it won't be. Just preempting.
Got to that point when she's hurting.
Yeah. Let's see, but okay, we'll get onto the play, and then we'll probably wrap up. Other comments. The Cursed Child
should not have been made.
I think it, as a story, it was okay, but
see, I've had people tell me it's
it doesn't really fit in. It's written as like it's a fan fiction. That's how it comes across. Like someone just wrote a really good fan fiction. It doesn't. To me, it doesn't really link in with the rest of the books. Even though it doesn't. If that makes sense.
It's funny you say it was fan fiction, considering Rowling wrote it.
Yeah, but. It reads as like someone's written it as a fan fiction.
I know, I get what you're saying, but it's interesting that you say that considering who wrote it. But
she wrote it.
Yeah. Steph has said it shouldn't have been made. Was that your opinion as well, Kira?
I don't think it shouldn't have been made. I mean, I've never seen it performed. I've only read it, so okay. I can't really.
I mean, I haven't read it, but from what people have told me, I feel like it shouldn't have been made at all. I will obviously get my hands on it at some point and read it.
Good.
Okay,
you can PDF it. You can type it in online. It does come up as a PDF now.
Yeah,
but
I was going to say, the thing about seeing it, if you'd actually gone to see it at the theatre, it's in two parts.
Yeah.
You can't just watch it one part, then the other part. You literally watch one part, then have to come back later in the day to watch the second part.
I've got the original rehearsal script, and it's broken up into two parts.
Yeah, that's how you have to watch it.
Yeah, but as a book, you can just read it all in one go, so you don't have to take the interval or buy tickets to two separate shows. So for me, it was good as a book, but I haven't seen it performed, so I can't really say.
But I think it was good. As I say, it reads as if it's a fan fiction. And to me, even though it does make sense with the books, it kind of doesn't. So...
Yeah. I think it's just a matter of opinion, really, about like whether you think it should have been or not. It depends on how well you think the story actually ended.
Should Albus and Scorpius have run off together and actually been gay lovers?
I kind of already thought they were, but yes.
Just to be specifically clear about it, because she leaves it a bit ambiguous.
I can see the potential.
In love with them.
It would be kind of ironic, though, seeing as them two didn't get on in school at all. And then to find out their sons are together, that would actually be quite ironic.
That would be quite funny.
Kira helping the tone of the show by showing some cleavage.
Oh,
I'm not doing this intentionally.
I mean,
I'm not
I've
doing
seen
this
a bit more than
intentionally.
that.
I'm trying to sit in a comfortable position without crushing my spine or my bladder.
I know, Kira, I'm encouraging it. More is good.
I've seen more.
It's a joke, Kira. Honestly. It's fine. I don't care. I'm just being funny.
I can't sit with my hair like that because it's uncomfortable. So I guess we're, going with the full titty effect.
We love these.
Honestly, Kira, it doesn't matter. This is an over 18 thing anyway, so it's fine.
That is to me.
It's not like you're going to flash nipples or anything, so you're good.
Or am I?
No, that's not the Patreon. Patreons, people. If you want to get more explicit stuff or more risque stuff, then probably
Patreon. Set a money limit.
I'll tell you what, I'll make a tier. I'll set a tier and I'll call it the Kira tier. And then we can have Kira perks.
Yeah, I was going to say exclusive Kira content.
If anyone wants me to do that, let me know. And then
why not?
Then me and Kira can discuss if she wants to do it. Firstly,
I mean, I'm pretty sure the guy that contacted you on Instagram would be.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how much I get out of this. I'm not just flashing my nippies for nothing.
Oh no, you'd be well compensated my end because it'd be a case of, well, you're doing all the hard work. So, no, you definitely get something out of this because with the tiers on the Patreons, certain shows have their own tier levels, and those shows get part of that money because it helps with the show. For instance, Steph's show's on there. And part of anything so that goes towards coffee or knitting or crochet supplies.
Yeah, that would go towards getting colorways and things for projects in the future.
Yeah, also helping keep the show running, which,
Yes, because I will run out of wool eventually, the way I'm going.
It's the same on Ben's Twitch. If you subscribe, he gets a portion of the money. So,
well, yeah, because the thing is, to do this, I actually am out of pocket doing these shows. So I run this off my back, which is why the photography company is a sponsor, because the photography company is actually paying for this. So the Patreon is so people can contribute, so the company doesn't have to sponsor. So basically, by getting enough patrons, you will remove me having to put the sponsor thing up, so it's me doing less ad reads. Is what it is. Also, the Patreon things, there's different tiers, so you can get perks of different types. Also, not all of them are expensive. There is a really stupid amount one, but again, it is what it is. And there's others which are like about £3. So.
See, what I might do as a perk for one of my shows is you will get Patreon exclusive tutorials for different to have I'm looking at doing a monthly thing to make a blanket. And I think I may make that a Patreon thing.
Cool.
So yeah.
We're also going to do a podcast at some point. We might even just put it onto the burst where we'll get Kira to talk about her love of fanfics and other things which aren't suitable for the normal shows.
Yes.
Basically, just a couple of hours of me talking shit.
Well, the thing is with the burst is literally because it's a Patreon only thing, because it's not being shown other than the Patreons, you can pretty much unload whatever you like on that show.
Yes.
Nice.
So it's a useful thing in that regard, because we are definitely going to be talking about things we touched on here but haven't gone full detail into as well, plus anyone else who wants to unload stuff off their chest.
I have a few things to say.
Yeah. So that's the point of that one. So I'm looking to do it probably in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. But the thing with that one is it gets literally just recorded and then it'll be put up later. It's not being streamed to anyone. Those people have to get links. And that's part of the Patreon thing. Only the patrons will get links to those shows. Also, don't be going around sharing that stuff because I can keep track of those.
Mm-hmm.
It's a perk you're paying for. Don't give it away for other people. That's silly. So, but all in all, what is the one major thing you would change though in the Harry Potter franchise if you could?
The death of Snape.
Besides the death of Harry Potter, I would change the detail of the movies. I would actually have every single detail that they missed from the books in all the films. And I would make each film a 2-parter just so I could include it. And I would make Deathly Hallows 3 parts instead of 2. And that is just so that way everything makes sense, all the story arcs line up, and there's nothing missed out. Because I feel like if you don't read the books and you just watch the films, they still don't make 100% sense with some of the stuff that goes on.
Would you not want to make them 4 hours each like they did with the Justice League thing, just to get it all into one film rather than parts?
I think that would be better, but I feel like parts for... Like, if it was cinematic release, I would say parts instead, but then have, like, a director's cut of it. Where it is just literally 4 hours of continuous Harry Potter, so that way everything's mentioned, no breaks, no intervals, blah, blah, blah.
So you could have your parts, but then you want the insane Crazy Fans edition.
Yes, which would be all the parts in one. From every single film. It would just be, like, a marathon of, like, what? We're on about, 48 hours maybe, if not more.
Okay. So Kira, other than Snape not dying, what would you do?
Kill Draco.
How would you fix it, basically?
More apples, Draco.
More Draco
I'd change the storyline completely and, make Lily realise that James was a bit of a prick and put her with Snape, and the entire, plotline would have been very different.
Yeah, Harry Potter would be good, born with greasy hair and a hooked nose. That's the Snape description in the books.
Harry Snape.
Yeah, Harry Severus Snape. Because you've got to bear in mind, Harry has James's middle name, as James's first name is his middle name. So it would actually be... Yeah.
That's weird. But, yeah, you could change it completely, and, they have a daughter instead of a son.
Just imagine, it wouldn't be Ron, it'd be Rowena, so it'd be like a ginger girl female friend, and it'd be Harry Granger instead of Hermione.
Yeah.
And it would be Ginny.
Dumbledore would still be asexually gay, and Albert would still like goats.
You know what? I would probably say fuck it and put Sirius and Remus together.
Okay,
just to please the fans.
Sirius and Remus being like openly out and gay and loving it. Would any of you give Voldemort back his nose?
No, because I got you know.
Maybe no, could have happened.
What like that? I get
Could you imagine?
I know him, his mum.
I'm amazed Harry Potter never did this to Voldemort. I got your nose. I got your nose.
No, touching on that, I have the perfect backstory for how he lost his nose.
But he's a teenage kid, right? Wouldn't they mock him for having no nose?
Breeded with a snake.
Yeah, but go on, Steph.
So, when Voldemort went to go kill Harry Potter, Harry went, I got your nose, in his crib.
Ran away.
Is that why Voldemort blasted him with the wand? Because he wouldn't give him his nose back?
Hang on. Weren't Harry and Lily in like his bedroom when Voldemort came in?
Yeah.
Well, maybe Lily was playing, doing the whole "I got your nose" thing with Harry, and instead of taking Harry's nose, she took Voldemort's, but she died and it vanished. So now he doesn't know where it is because she took his nose.
Because they did it with the wizard's way and she used a wand.
Yeah. God. He can't get it back because Lily's dead, and now he's taken it out on Harry because, there we go. The whole thing is because of a child game.
Mm-hmm.
Snakiest.
As you said, there were theories that Lily was pregnant. You also don't ask me why I googled this, but no, probably should explain. But apparently, if you type in on Google, who did Hermione lose her virginity to? It was Fred.
Kira, why did you Google that?
It actually came up as a TikTok and someone was reacting to it. And I was like, okay, clearly they've edited this. So I went on and I Googled it and it comes up, Hermione lost her virginity to Fred. But you also, you type in everybody else's and it comes up and it's like, what?
How do you know it wasn't George?
Things you don't because they're identical twins.
What? How are we sure that it wasn't Fred, not George, who died?
Exactly.
How do we know that Harry Potter didn't die? And it's just a figment of our imagination.
It's a facade. It's all an elaborate hoax by the Ministry of Magic.
Do you know what's really bad? Voldemort is actually the hero of the story and Harry's the villain.
Ooh. I mean, technically, yeah, because he murdered Voldemort. He actually murdered Voldemort, so technically he's the bad guy. And he's... Oh my god, that makes so much sense.
Because only Harry can live forever. Can you imagine Harry Potter without a nose, though? Like Voldemort. Harry, I am looking for my Horcruxes. You imagine what Harry put his Horcruxes in? What do you call it? Hedwig.
Yes. There's a theory that Fawkes the Phoenix is a Horcrux because of, Ariana and Dumbledore and stuff. I don't know the exact theory, but there you go.
Aberforth has one, and it's in a goat.
Yes. Goat fetish.
And so's the Horcrux.
Goat compare.
Okay. Most inappropriate wizard meme or fanfic story you've come across?
Do you read the group chat?
No.
Kira, I've read all of Kira's fanfics. I think that's enough said.
So basically, Kira is what you're saying.
I mean, she's read mine as well.
I have a very graphic imagination. Leave me alone.
Mm-hmm. Especially when it comes to Effie and Haymitch.
I'm curious, right? So did Hermione just sit there and go, this one time it was a camp?
I've actually seen one with...
remember that.
Mm-hmm. I've seen one with Hermione and Voldemort.
Oh, yeah, I've seen some as well.
Yeah, no, I've seen one where Voldemort kidnaps Hermione and it's a very graphic story. And some of it is not
consensual. 365 days.
The irony being is what people don't realise is it's graphic because he basically cuts off a nose because he wants the nose back.
No, that's not it.
No, he lost it up.
365 days, but it's Voldemort and Hermione.
Voldemort started eating out Hermione and he lost his nose in the process.
Actually, a legitimate question. I wonder if you girls can think of an answer for this. How would Voldemort do cocaine?
Huh?
How would Voldemort do cocaine?
I have no clue.
Yeah.
He would probably just
rub it into his gums.
Yeah.
Logic. Why do you know the answer to this? Is there something I should know?
I know what it is. He gets Nagini.
Oh my god.
Get
I
the
swear
snake
there's a
to take
backstory for Nagini. Wasn't she like a person once, and he changed her into like a snake?
Not according to the Fantastic Beasts films, because in the second one, Nagini's in it.
Yeah, I was
Alright.
gonna say apparently she's no, she had the
She's
god.
got blood magic curse.
Oh.
Yeah, something like that. You know,
She used
kind of
to
like the
be a
Shrek
human.
by day one way, by night another. She's yeah. She turns into a snake, but he kind of just like permanently kept her as a snake and used her as a Horcrux, and yeah, child in slavery.
It's okay, because I'm Voldemort.
He's got a big snake, if you know what I mean.
And he's not afraid to use it.
He's compensating for something.
And he doesn't have any protection for that snake.
And oop,
And it bites.
Wait, is that why Albus has
Don't
the
make
Elder
them.
Wand? Because, like, you know, he has a tiny peewee.
because it looks like anal beads.
Oh my god! Could you imagine if that's what he uses it for?
Well, him and Grindelwald used to have that wand. That's all I'm saying.
They kept arguing over it. They just, you know.
No wonder he liked Grindelwald.
Well, they did used to say it's for the greater good.
Take it, it's for the greater good.
Magic is might and all that.
See, that's another thing as well. Technically, Snape killed Dumbledore, so technically the Elder One belonged to Snape.
No, we'll get. Well, actually, yeah. We'll touch upon this and then we will finish up with it comes to the one law. The Elder Wand thing is complicated, but it shouldn't be.
Mm.
Okay. The reason.
Sounds like my life.
Right. Here's the thing, right? Yeah, Snape killed Dumbledore, but Dumbledore was not the Master of the Wand at the time he died.
Huh?
Because Draco disarms Dumbledore before Snape kills him. So one's already Draco's at that point.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
And
then Harry disarms Draco, which is why Harry becomes the Master. What's weird is how the wand knows that, because it wasn't that wand he disarmed, but he still disarmed Draco.
Mm.
The wand's a good little wand. It knows who its master is.
Does it have a collar and everything?
It's got a ball gag. Guess what the little bumps are?
Yes. Follow the name tag. Daddy's little wand.
Say my name, Elder One. Say my name. But yeah. But as far as the wands go, yeah, generally most wands stay loyal.
Mm.
Else anything else. The older wand is very dubious in this regard, which is why it's the most dangerous of the Hallows, because literally it can be taken. And because people are powerful, people boast of its power, which is why the wand is always usually taken forcefully. But it doesn't have to be.
No.
People have misinterpreted the myth around it because of all the deaths around it. All you have to do is just dispossess the owner, and then you have mastery of the wand.
Mm.
Yes.
What really is weird, though, because in the books, Harry then, once he's gained the wand, he then buries it with Dumbledore.
Mm.
Okay, this is where I think the movie version's better, but I don't like how Harry does it. He destroys the wand.
Yes.
That to me makes more sense. If you don't want the wand, destroy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it's that powerful, he shouldn't just be able to break it like that.
No. But one thing that I did find funny was that Harry and Voldemort had the exact same wand, made from the exact same materials, from the exact same sources.
No, Voldemort's wood for the wand was different.
Oh, okay, but it had the same core.
It had the same core.
From the same phoenix, yeah.
Forks, ironically.
Mm.
Kira, wash your mouth out. Such dirty language. Don't tell us all the forks. Jesus, Kira.
No, I think someone's tired.
Everything out of Kira's mouth is a fork. It's fork this, fork that.
Fork everything and everyone.
There she goes. Ding dong. It's don't care.
It's not.
And the light comes on.
It's all right.
Oh.
It's all right. It's all right, Kira. We're not going to take your whole crack, so it's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Right. One last thing. Dementors.
Dementor.
Okay, I'm glad you brought this up because in Azkaban, right, he's just guarded by Dementors, yeah?
Correct.
So who does the cooking? Or do they just starve their prisoners?
Who does
Do the Dementors cook? Do they have chef Dementors?
Yeah, put a little chef's hat and go, oh, cordon bleu.
I'm gonna make unhappy pie today.
Here's the slot be grateful.
Espresso.
Oh my god. Hi, welcome to the Death Eaters McDonald's. What can I get you for you? A depression box.
It'd be like this. It'd be like, yeah, today at work was horrible. Those prisoners tasted funny.
Or do they just starve their prisoners?
I don't think they feed them because obviously they feed off them, but they don't feed off them physically. They feed off their emotions.
Yeah, but as human beings, we need food to live. Even the witches and wizards need food to live. And if Sirius did 12 years in Azkaban and didn't eat.
Okay, Kerry, you said that wrong. 12 years in Azkaban!
I'm waiting 12 years of it in Azkaban! Yes.
Yeah, you had to do it because I did the... Did you pretend I've been a goblet of fire?
Dumbledore asks calmly.
Dumbledore says calmly.
Did you pretend I've been a goblet of fire?
That's actually how Michael Gambon says it.
Yeah. It's the impression I do to Harry Potter fans, and they always laugh at it because they know what I'm doing.
I love it. I'm definitely going to make that video later.
Could you imagine Michael Gambon going out get holding coffee as Dumbledore? Did you put some coffee in my tea?
Yeah.
But
why does my mum come to mind when you said that?
As far as Azkaban goes, as far as we're aware, no, they don't feed them because there's nobody tells us they're being fed.
But if they were being fed, what would they eat?
If they are being fed, what would they eat, and who does the cooking?
Maybe they chop off prisoners' penises.
A Dementor in a chef hat. His name is Dave. He's the youngest Dementor because he can't suck souls because apparently he sucks. And...
No, but what if that's actually a thing? What if there really is a Dementor that is the good guy and doesn't want to drain people's souls?
I got it. It's Grogu.
In fact, I don't want to suck souls because I'm a good little Grogu.
I love that one video where he's chasing a frog and then 30 seconds later he's like...
I see that in the series. It's funny.
It is actually quite funny.
It's just so cute. He's just like, oh my god, Froggy.
Fair enough.
I love it.
The French have been doing it for centuries. I don't blame you. But there's probably one little Dementor who can't suck because he sucks, and he gets put on food patrol.
Yeah, he's like Mark. He's the one that's all the other Dementors talk about.
I have a theory.
He's probably smaller than the rest of them. Leave him alone. How do Dementors reproduce?
Actually, how they reproduce, I know, but I'll get to that. I'll let Steph speak first.
So, I have a theory. Obviously, Dementors feed off of emotion, right?
Negative emotion.
Wait, negative or happy?
Negative, because
happy.
They feed off happy. They feed off happy to drain it, leave you only negative.
So they give them.
It's why Sirius survives.
They eat happy.
So they give their
what does Dementors eat for breakfast? Happy meals.
From McDonald's.
I'll leave.
No one.
McDonald's drive-through. That's how they feed the prisoners. It's a happy meal.
Yes.
This is the mental of a little one McDonald's.
Oh, that's actually so cute. But no, so what if they feed the prisoners the food that they love the most just to feed the Dementors for the happy emotions and the serotonin?
Okay, here's the question. Do they get the toy?
Oh, I always ask for the toy when I get a Happy Meal.
Well, that's what I mean. Surely the
You
Dementors
have to
want
pay
the toy.
for them now. If you order it separately, you have to pay for the toy.
That's fucking bad.
That's rude. Suck out their soul.
Mhm.
You have to get the toy. You have to actually buy a Happy Meal.
Yeah, why do you think I buy them so much?
So
Right.
sad.
As for how Dementors breed, that's an easy one. Basically, it actually happens in the Deathly Hallows books. Dementors breed when there's lots of super negative emotions going on, and it gets really cloudy and misty. The mist is them breeding.
Don't walk into fog.
Essentially, yeah.
Dementor sperm.
Don't walk into the fog. It's cloud babies.
Oh no, Dementor just fucked in my mouth.
I was literally just thinking that.
So next time you breathe in fog, just remember that's the Dementor baby you just swallowed.
Mm.
Yeah, there you go. But here's the thing. What do we think they look like underneath the hood?
Like death.
Like Kira.
we have apparently looks like Kira. That's what he said. I heard him.
He's bullying me, and I think that's atrocious.
No,
you know
they
what's
look like they just went on like a month sesh and drank loads of alcohol and did a shit ton of drugs, and they have a hangover.
Do you know what's really silly then? If Ben thinks Kira's a Dementor, that means she can suck out his soul, and he's aggravating and antagonizing her right now. That's not going to end well.
I don't have a soul.
Are you Ginger?
Apparently so.
Yes, he is.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're fine then. Cool. Because the thing with the Dementors is you never see them without the hood. So unless you've had your soul sucked out, in which case those people aren't in any condition to tell anyone. But I was just curious whether anyone had any idea or opinions of what they would look like.
They look like me when I wake up before coffee.
Yeah.
I always thought they'd probably look like almost a skeletal person, kind of like someone who's really anorexic.
Mm.
Yeah, I could see that.
But not anorexic as such, but that look, because they're decaying on something.
Slowly dying.
Which means they need some soul. Just don't know why they should go to a jazz club. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
They play soul all the time.
Oh dear, I've just realised how late it is.
Yeah, exactly. So we touched upon the Dementors. Well, Kira's touching the Dementors apparently, because you know.
I mean, that explains why she's with Ben.
So Kira, did Ben approach you wearing a hood and like a big cloak?
And go,
Yes. For that.
No, he put something in. He didn't suck something out.
No, that's what she tried to do.
Was it foggy? Kira, was it foggy that day?
Yeah. Possibly, I don't know.
The mental baby.
I mean, that was 28 weeks ago. Give her a break.
I don't remember that far
She has
back.
breakfast.
Yeah, I had I had crunchy nut for breakfast. I was going to say cornflakes, but it's not, because they're the crunchy one. Well, I mean, cornflakes are crunchy, but I meant that. Oh, fuck.
What, this morning or the morning that happened?
This morning. The morning.
Okay, I was just checking because that would have been a really, really big remember. That's what I mean. That would have been
Yeah,
really, really.
I don't remember I don't remember making the baby, but I remember what I had for breakfast. No, I don't.
To be fair, Ben doesn't either.
Do you remember what we had for breakfast the morning we had?
No, I mean he doesn't remember making the baby.
Do you actually?
Yeah, we had to fry up.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
Okay, Ben, maybe you had to fry up.
She just had scrambled eggs.
Oh,
it's a good thing I'm the best friend.
I wonder if Ron and Harry had those sort of conversations about Hermione. Anyway,
I wonder if what I just said was as quick as Ben.
you just got to look there, by the way.
Yeah, you're the one who finishes first.
If she finishes first, it means you're not doing your job right.
No, that means you're doing your job right.
Right.
Suddenly you don't want to be here.
Before we get on to that kind of conversation, which is not what this show's meant for.
Yeah.
For that kind of conversation, that's what the Patreon show's for.
Yes, I think that's a wrap.
Yeah, so unless anything else, I think we're pretty Do you have something to say, Kira?
No, sorry.
I thought you had something to say. I was going to say, unless somebody can think of anything else I want to add to this conversation, I'm pretty sure we think they basically should have just done a much better job including the content they didn't have put in the shows, or in the films, really.
Yeah, overall, that was our entire point of this podcast that we never actually got to.
We actually did discuss all these things, to be fair. It was sporadically interlaced with a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
So, and to be fair, this is a big subject. There's the 8 films. There's the 2 Fantastic Beasts films. There's the play. There's the book. There's the fanfic, and all the stuff around it. So, yeah, it was always going to be a fairly long show. So, but I think we've managed to do quite well out of it. So, one last question I would ask both of you is: would it have worked better as a TV series rather than films?
No.
No, I don't think it would have been quite TV show worthy. But it would be. I'm curious to see how that would have worked, though.
Considering how badly Netflix fucked up Shadowhunters, aka the Mortal Instruments, no.
Did you watch the Mortal Instruments film?
Yeah, even that I didn't approve of.
Well, no, that was worse.
It was like Valentine's Day
Magnus
massacre
carries
on the thing.
Magnus and Alec carry the entire show. Shadowhunter wise.
Apparently, we don't need to talk about Shadowhunters because apparently that's pretty much just been done there in about 30 seconds. Right?
Oh no, I can do it. Yeah, further detail.
Did it?
Okay,
I can go into further detail.
Okay, we'll do it at some point then, okay? But just obviously not now because we've just gone through a bunch of Harry Potter stuff. But again, there's a list of stuff which we are going to talk about. I haven't quite worked out what the next subject can be, but again, there's a big list of stuff. If either of you have suggestions, let me know.
Major crowns. Oh wait, that would literally just be me fangirling for an hour straight.
I think we'd need more than an hour, honey.
We will actually do Battlestar Galactica at some point because it's actually quite relevant. So,
well, yeah, 'cause there's multiple ones. There's 2 of them.
Plus for various reasons and subjects.
Oh, bye, Kira.
I think she has to go do something. So basically, people, I think we're pretty much done. So basically, we don't dislike the films. We just think they could have done a much better job of them, I think is what it is.
Yeah, they're good to watch for mindless relaxation where I don't have to strain too much on details.
Yeah, but if you want true to the book, then that's not what you're going to get.
No. Do not hold... If you've read the books and never seen the films, do not hold your expectation bar high at all.
This is the bar.
This is the bar. All the way down. No, it goes past the camera, past my bed, past my floor, past the bottom floor. It's very low reality.
Yeah. Basically, we're just explaining, like, the films are good to enjoy or watch, but just don't be hung up on the fact that they are not the books, and it's mindless fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you would agree with that? Okay, cool. Well, with that, I think we will do everyone's fun social stuff again, and then we'll end the show here, and then you guys and me can discuss possible future stuff, but we'll get rid of the people first. So basically, in the meantime, we will do social. So Stephanie!
Yay!
Yay! Just find my Instagram. Enjoy my Instagram. There's not much more, but yes.
Stephanie likes to finger people's hair on Instagram.
Yes.
It's a
The only
hairdressing
thing I can finger, okay?
Yeah, it's
I mean,
social
Oh,
distancing.
Kira, darling, I'll come up.
That would be a long finger. That's what's 400 miles.
Oh, it will all be worth it for just a bit of fun.
no comment.
Ben doesn't know, won't hurt him. Anyway. So.
No, Ben will just ask if he can watch.
Ask to me.
Okay,
Oh,
here's
that's
Kira's
pretty
Instagram. Yeah, so here we go, Kira. So here's lovely Instagram. Thank you. And now we're going to go back onto the sorting stuff.
Wait.
Instagram. Basically, this is for all the shows. So
Stuff sorting.
Stuff will be put on here and for all the shows. That's why they're all listed up the top here, just so people can know. Then we have the Twitter, again, for all the shows. It's just easier this way. Rather than me doing individual accounts for every single show, that's just going to be stupidly time-consuming, and nobody's going to go through them all. I just figure it's easier if everyone just consolidates it. If it's a particular show you want to make comments to, then just hashtag and put the show name. I'll find it that way. Okay. And what we'll do, because I've been talking about it for a while, we have the Patreon. Links for all this stuff is in the description as well, so check it out there. We have a sponsor podcast, sponsor for the show here, which is that way, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Check it out for weddings, events, all your photography needs. It's all good, right? What I will do, momentarily touch upon, because we mentioned it quite a few times, is this thing here.
I need to pee.
It's
very appropriate considering the show title. But this show is for the patrons and supporters only, and basically nothing's off limits, as it says there, and it means nothing. Okay, you have to be a patron to get this show, though, so bear that in mind. Okay, right, and with that, let's see. I think we've covered everybody. Yes, we have. Right, so we will see you people soon. I will see you guys tomorrow for 50/50 booking, and the rest of these guys will probably see you Wednesday unless something comes up.
Yeah.
So let's just wave to people. Wave.
Bye.
Okay, we can do the peace sign. It's fine.